Because we live, bitches.
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
There's a man walks the streets of London late at night with a little black bag that's oh so tight. He's got a big black cloak hanging down his back. Well, that's a one-bit cat that just hates to fight. Well, he walks down the street, every girl he meets says, your name is Blouse. When she walks down the street, he's never far behind. With his little black bag and his one-track mind. Well, he really catches up when the lights go down. Cause that's the time he starts his dirty shop around. When he walks down the street, every girl he meets says, your name is Blouse. Scotland Yard will never catch him, cause he's a much too clever. But if they do, a man will get the leather, yeah. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper, the Ripper, Jack the Ripper. With the streets of London can never safe. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Whenever Jack the Ripper ever shows his face. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. So you pretty little girlies take my advice. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. And don't walk the streets of London late at night. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Well, he walks down the street, every girl he meets says, your name is Blouse. Jack the Ripper, the Ripper, the Ripper.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Brian, back for another episode of CG Horror Movie Club, the club where we watch horror movies and talk about them. In case you hadn't gotten the concept for the show, basically what we do is we kind of pick a horror movie in advance. We agree to watch it. It's always something that's not behind a paywall, and then we get together and we review it. We talk about it. And if from listening to us talk about it, you think to yourself, damn, that movie sounds sweet, I want to check that out, link is down below in the description where you can watch it for free. Anyway, tonight is Jack the Ripper night because we got my man, Peter Gilmore. What's up?
Whoa! What's up?
Did you enjoy the Screaming Lord Such intro?
Dude, Screaming Lord, our Britain's greatest politician. Yeah, he is. The monster
Is he really?
raving party. Yeah, the monster raving loony party.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if they're still going, but yeah, I always used to vote Monster Raving Loony every time.
Oh, I wish
They
I
had such
that
wonderful
option.
policies as unemployed people, to earn your benefits, to earn your welfare, you must go and work in a
Good
factory,
stuff.
You must work what?
in a jam factory,
At a
or
junk
gel.
factory.
And in public, everybody should wear underwear over their outerwear. That's
Yes,
another
on the
rule.
outside. Yes, well,
Yeah.
that's so you could check it to make sure
Yeah,
that it's like
but-
clean and fresh.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a really good documentary about Screaming Lord Such, actually. That's well worth checking out. Those of you that love horror movies, odds are you probably also love you some horror rock. He's like way back in like what 1965, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Old stuff, but
Yeah,
good.
so, oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
man, you had me going, Brian. Ripper.
Right? Wasn't that jamming? Wasn't that jamming?
I had
I
to go
actually
put the
had to
hat on,
choose-
man. I was like, yeah.
I actually had to choose between that and another clip. The other clip being a live show where he was
Yes.
like in the
Yeah.
he was in the crowd, and he's like going after these girls, and they're shrieking. And one of them, I think I may have the picture here somewhere, just has this look of just like abject horror on her face, like looks genuinely like freaked out, genuinely scared. Let's see if I can bring that up.
I know,
Yes,
I know the clip you mean. I know the clip.
Oh, you've seen it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, because I mean, obviously he's more well known outside of the United States, I would think. But the sick freaks like me, that love them some horror.
Oh yeah, he used to hang around with Bowie and the Stones, and one of those guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that he was actually treated with the respect that he deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, here she is.
Over,
Okay.
Over here, anyway.
Right. Yeah, look at this chick. So yeah, they seemed like they were genuinely scared of him, which I thought was highly amusing, because of course it's always the quiet
But
ones.
look at the one behind her going, "Oh, I just eat that guy up."
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's the thing. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not a bad thing to be a little scary.
Yeah, he was very well known for being batshit crazy insane. So,
like legitimately, as opposed, it wasn't an act. You mean?
I think it was probably booze and drugs.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll exacerbate. Or if there's any underlying mental illness, that'll exacerbate it for sure. Anyway, let me take this opportunity to welcome my distinguished co-hosts. Matt, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Thanks so much for joining us, man.
Thank you, man. Just chilling, drinking a Mickey's,
Oh, drinking another 40, huh?
Mm-hmm.
40 dog in it.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you, man. Pops, what's going on, brother?
Hey, I may not cosplay, but I always had the hat for the occasion.
Well, I mean, I'm a little disappointed because, like, I'm looking at Peter here, and he's looking sharp, but I wouldn't say that he's gussied up. Oh, ooh, nice.
I do have the full costume. I mean, Dave the skeleton in the background is wearing a scary bear mask, but he's also got Jack Ripper's cowl on.
He's got me on
nice.
that one. He's already in the Halloween spirit. I haven't.
Yeah, I'm catching up
all year round.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like when Halloween is like all year for you. Once Halloween comes around, it's just like it's like I mean, I'll put out like decorations outside, but everything inside the house stays the same.
Yeah. To be honest, Dave, you can't really see because of the blue light, but he's got a bride now. You can just about make her out. Bride of Dave is hanging by the side. In fact, stream.
Oh, really? Oh, I see her.
StreamYard Duck's head is right on Dave's head, which is quite cool.
Brian, you can get that logo out the way.
Let's see if we can change that.
But you
can get that logo out of the way.
He's been there for 20 years, and he's not moved in 20 years.
I hope you dust him.
Oh yeah.
Because
he does actually glow in the dark too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's freaking sweet. Anyway, folks.
This guy glows in the dark.
Ooh,
This guy glows in the dark, and
Nice.
this guy glows in the dark.
Oh, does he really?
It's Little Crown.
Yeah, it sure is.
Nice.
It's Little Crown.
Those things are awesome. I got to have me one of those. Yeah, I mean, we're doing it tonight. What time is it? It's Hammer time, of course. We're doing a Hammer movie, so I had to get into the closet and bust out some of my old goth stuff.
Or come out of the closet.
It smells kind of like stale clove cigarettes.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, folks.
Stinks of goth.
Yes. Yeah. I remember we ended up in New York. We were using the term goth, GOFF, because a friend of ours had been across the pond in London, and I think had gone to the back cave. Yeah, and some guy came down the stairs and looked around and sniffed. Went, "Oi, smells mighty goth in here."
GOUGH.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I could have worn a blouse, but Bancroft already did that. So
right. Well, I mean, look, the 1800s. That was the last time that clothes for men were cool.
Yeah.
In my estimation, anyway. But we got Peter only for an hour. And he's gonna have to fuck off and hop on Mandy's stream. And are you everybody, the link for the sign up for Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter Part 2 is down below, and we'll post it in the chat. We'll post it in the chat too.
Hey, Matt was already on that, bro. He already did that.
God damn.
You never look at your chat. Good stuff is over there saying hi.
I'm busy. I'm trying not to boomer out. I'm multitasking. I'm trying to run a stream here.
That's part of boomering out if you don't acknowledge your chat.
I know.
Hey, if you ain't booming, you ain't living, dude. Fuck.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, there's the link. Everybody, first issue was dope. I loved it to pieces. And Peter, it's we knew that you were a good artist, but it's you unveiled this secret self. And that we had.
When I'm working on a book, I kind of get better halfway through, but then I have to tone it back so the book looks the same all the way through. So it's always a big jump. And the next book I do, it's now I can do the thing. But the thing is, this time we're doing these two books, the first one and the second one. They're kind of tied together. Same bad guy. So I've got to draw the second book like the first one. Right. But I'm itching to unveil how much better I've got since then. But I can't. I've got to draw this.
book. Dude. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't hold back. I would go full out if you've leveled up. Because to me, one of the things that one of the things that I love, that I find inspiring, is seeing people leveling up. And it's so cool when you're reading, say, a trade paperback, and you're going through, and from issue to issue, you see that person evolving. So that's just a little friendly advice, don't
worry.
Go.
I'm unleashing the beast a little more in the second book.
That's right.
So it's better. The art's better.
Excellent.
But it's not the end goal is to not I think we can ever get close to him, but the end goal is to get as close to rights as possible. That's my end goal.
That's
a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
that's the pinnacle right there.
That's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
For horror, I mean, there's certain artists that dominate certain genres, right? High fantasy, Frazetta, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to reach Frazetta.
Yeah.
And for horror, it's Bernie.
And Bernie was trying to emulate, Frazetta, but he's like, no, I'm gonna get a little scarier with that, and then do something with the brush you ain't never seen before. And it's just disgraceful how the comic book industry here treated him. Preston met him and said he was a lovely person, but that he was bitter over how badly he'd been treated by the comics industry. But then again, the American comics industry is notorious
for treating its treasures like trash. But anyway, we should get into tonight's movie, which is Hands of the Ripper. Wow. Hands of the Ripper is a little bit, I would say, not a little bit, I would say it's a lot on the obscure side as far as the Hammer movies go. Because when you think Hammer, you think, the Dracula films, you think the Frankenstein films, you think of those, think of franchises. And even a lot of the oddball little diamonds in the rough, like Vampire Circus and Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter, Dr. Jekyll's Sister Hyde. Those have kind of gotten more attention in recent years. And Hands of the Ripper really kind of remains obscure. And it really deserves, I think, a lot more attention.
It's got none of those sort of the names the actors that you associate with Hammer, none of those are in it. But being British, like the cast are pretty much a who's who of British drama and TV dramas and comedies and stuff from back in the day. Lots of faces I recognize. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, same here. I mean, because we always had the BBC over here, and so I grew up watching. Of course, what turned me on to BBC was Monty Python, right? And then as I got older, I started watching, Mystery and Masterpiece Theater.
This is one of the coolest movie posters they ever did.
Oh, you like? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, this is a
For
thing.
one thing, it's art. It's not a picture. Okay, it's art. But I mean, the different facets, different scenes in the show, the different facets in the gym, the blood, all of it. It's the perfect horror movie promo card.
It's
beautiful.
It captures the film.
It's a good page layout for a comic book too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A great banner of the madness.
I'm absolutely going to steal that.
Is that great, man? Seriously, dude. And what I especially love, this must be an American poster because it has an R rating right here. You can see that, right? So that means it's American. Whereas, let's see here, that's R. That's R2 actually. I'm like, because this definitely got an X certificate in its initial release. That is to say, this is. I love this one. This looks like it's from a Jess Franco movie. How tawdry is this one?
I like the logo best right here.
And just nothing to do with the movie.
Right.
Really?
It's false advertising.
Yeah, literally false advertising. I do in the movie. And that doesn't happen.
Hey, anything to get butts in the seats, right?
Right.
And Peter, you're roboting a little, so if I step on you while you're speaking, I apologize. But
okay.
Yeah, let's. And I'm a big fan of lobby cards. I just love them to death. There's some lobby cards because one of the things I always do when we do a stream is I always go looking for movie poster art, fan art. VHS boxes, DVD, Blu-ray boxes. This is a version, I think this is the Blu-ray that just came out, which I don't have, unfortunately. That's supposedly stunning. And let's see. Oh, yeah. One of the things that Hammer used to do is they used to have double features. And made the same year was Twins of Evil, which is a great movie, but is also was made when the Hammer movies started having nudity in their films.
That one's like The Parent Trap gone bad.
That's one way of describing it. It's a great movie. It's just I feel that once they had the opportunity to show nudity, once they could do it, they started doing it, and it made the movies less sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it was with everything. It's like Playboy used to have an allure, and then it just became blah, all in your face, right?
Yeah, because when I think Hammer, I think booby dresses.
Yeah.
I think Cleavage, I think plunging necklines.
And sheer coverage, but not complete coverage. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what you look for. Yeah, or that's what you see, not necessarily what you look for unless you're no perv. Like,
yes. And this is a really interesting double feature because you have Twins of Evil, which is old school Hammer horror with boobs, but those movies are very cozy. And Hands of the Ripper is not a cozy movie. It's more like, what would I compare it to? Straight On Till Morning, I found really disturbing. Blood of the Mummy, I thought
the one with Michael Caine. You know what I'm talking about?
Murdered by Decree. That's that's not Hammer, but it's Hammer-esque. That's actually directed by Bob Clark, the guy who did Christmas Story, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, and Porky's.
I seen a Red Ryder BB gun today. No, sorry.
No, that's all good. And no way, kid, you'll take your eye out. Yeah. No, that same guy also did Black Christmas.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So he kind of like was a genre hopper. That's a nice one right there too. Wow, folks, remember the days, the ye olden days, when movie posters were beautiful paintings, like works of art, and not shitty fucking something, thrown together with Photoshop in 5 minutes in a fucking
Google filters
somewhere.
Yeah, Google.
Somebody actually put work in on this. And what year was this?
This was
78.
Really?
Somebody put
I don't know.
on this.
No, I'm thinking more like 75, actually.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. Somebody pulled this out of their computer.
We lost Angela Lansbury. You guys hear about that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Man. She was almost Betty White level.
Yeah.
Dude. But I mean, she was like a genuinely great actress.
Yeah.
The Manchurian Candidate, that's like one of the greatest villain performances of all time.
Company of Wolves was pretty solid. I mean, her scenes were short, but she did a good job in there.
She's solid, dude.
She always dominated the screen when she was on it, but not in a way that she was taking away from the film just to draw attention to herself.
Yeah.
She was always
it's just on who she was. It just drew people, she kind of drew you to her in a show, whether you big part or little part. You kind of like focused on Angela. I'm sorry, you did.
She sang too. That Beauty and the Beast song that hit, bro. Like, kids love that shit. Hate it or love it. It is.
Well, she was on Broadway a lot. She was on Broadway a lot.
Yeah.
She was in Sweeney Todd, for instance.
Wasn't she in some of the Musketeer movies too, or one of them? I could have sworn she was in like a swashbuckler, like from back in the day when she was like really young.
She was also in
like Errol Flynn type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's likely. That's likely because she's also. I can't remember if it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Ruben Mamoulian movie, or if it was the Picture of Dorian Gray. But she's in one of those. I think it's the Picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, I think she's in Dorian Gray.
Yeah, like the first version of that was done, which is still the best.
Are you guys gonna put Hyde in your book, Peter? That's just like, can't talk, huh?
Yeah, look at him. He's like,
Dorian Gray too, man. I mean, I guess.
Well, isn't it interesting also? Isn't it interesting also how sometimes these characters cross over, like in Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde? Not only is it Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, but it's also Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
And then Burke and Hare are thrown in there. It's just what the.
I like that movie too.
I love it. I love it.
With Landis. Yeah, that was fun.
The one that was shot as a musical, and then he like took all the songs out.
Yeah.
It was him and Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
We watched that the other day, actually.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Then there's The Doctor and the Devils, which was written by Dylan Thomas, the poet, actually. And then was, I think, shot long after his death, I think in like 1980, 81. That's with Jonathan Pryce and Timothy Dalton, and I think Julian Sands. Anyway, Peter, this is how I get on these streams. I can't help it. That's
what we do, though, man. You gotta go off a little bit.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, that's why I wanted to start streaming. I was like, well, what can I do in my sleep? I'm like, talk about horror movies, okay? So I know if I show up here, it doesn't matter how zonked or out of it I am, I'm gonna be able to talk about horror movies.
Always,
yeah. And we got ID Crisis in the house. What up, brother? Yeah, he mentions bed knobs and broomsticks. Blue Hawaii. Wow, was she really? I know that Barbara Steele was supposed to star opposite Elvis in a movie, and they made her dye her hair blonde, which is blasphemy.
Yeah.
And she just like left and like cut out of town because like Hollywood just didn't know what to do with her. But man, could you imagine? Oh man, they would have made some like really beautifully strange looking children. Of course, we got Popstar, up in the chat. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And smash that like button if you feel like it, and also the subscribe and ring a ding a ling a ding dong, the little bell for notifications. Not that I would ever tell you what to do.
And all you people in the chat, follow each other, all the guests, everybody network together, because that's how everybody shit grows.
That's how this how we do it. All right. So what did you gentlemen think of Hands of the Ripper? Let's start with Matt. What did you think?
To be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of it.
Okay.
What I did like about it though was the obviously the sets and the costumes and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. There was just something about it I wasn't really vibing on too much. I wanted to see more of this. I would have probably put has nothing to do with the fucking movie. It shouldn't, but I would like to see more Ripper. I wanted to see more Ripper in the beginning, him killing more people, taking out some more of the victims, just a little bit more. And
you wanted a little more Jack the Ripper in your Jack the Ripper movie.
Yeah, and there's they don't explain his ghoulish appearance. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you have to break it down scientifically, like fucking, but at least talk about it. That's a new take. Everyone's got a new take on Jack. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to see this take. Why is his hands all fucked up? What's wrong with his skin? That's a missed opportunity. I think it was cool though, dude. I mean, that's what I would have changed about it. You know what I mean? But the take of the whole movie, the fucking concept was awesome, dude. You know what I mean? And it's a horror movie. Yeah, it was cool. I would recommend it too. Hammer, fucking awesome. But I expected more. I'm not gonna lie.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I think that's also one of the reasons why this movie's on the obscure side is because there's so little Jack the Ripper in it. And then, of course, and Peter, I'm sure you're going to be able to speak to this. The fascination that we as a culture have with Jack the Ripper, I think, largely has to do with the fact that we have no idea who he was. Every now and then, there's always like every 10 years there's a new theory, and I'm always just like, whatever.
Some of the theories are interesting, to say the least.
Well, he has to be somebody famous, or nobody will know. Right?
Exactly.
Every theory has to be wrapped around somebody famous, because that's the only way it'll hold anybody's.
Because it would be disappointing if it was just some doctor with syphilis.
I mean, it was just some freaking loon. We still got loons. Loons are loons. They're every fucking where.
My memory sucks, but I read something like about a year ago where they had like done DNA on they had actual DNA from some of the evidence that left behind.
No.
Fucking dude, I wish I could remember. You know what I mean? But I'll have to look it up. But it was like one of the people that because they had like 100 or so leads, but they allegedly ran the DNA, and it was the dude. I think it was it was either, I know it's vast, but it was either a doctor or like someone that escaped from a hospital, and they were lining everything up to where it was him. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty fucking definitive. And like they have, I've seen a million of different accusations and documentaries, and it was him, or could have been him, and done. He went to America and this and that, and fucking, But this one, I was blown away, dude. And this was about a year ago. I'm gonna see if I can find it though.
Okay. In fact, there is a movie called Jack the Ripper in the Wild West. It's also called A Knife for the Ladies. I can't recommend it. I can't recommend it.
No.
Well, I kind of agree with Matt on one point in this movie, and that's they didn't set the stage for what they were presenting visually.
Okay.
Okay. You know what I mean? as far as just like you said, why he looked the way he did, all that. It's like, come on, give me a flashback of somebody throwing acid at him, or him freaking out when he sees a bottle of acid. Just anything to connect where this is coming from, But other than that, I mean, I like freaky movies. This one's on the freaky side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, this was a little bit more to it didn't make me go, or anything, but I was like, yeah, I giggled a little more than usual. How's that?
It doesn't, this movie doesn't make you go, right? It makes you go, ooh.
Yeah, it made me
violence in this
it made me giggle.
Is brutal.
Brutal.
The kills in this are brutal.
That's why.
That's what I. By hat pins. That's the one.
Like,
God! Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
man, we'll get to that. Real quick, I just wanted to mention that my impression was when we see his face that his face is scarred from syphilis. Right?
Maybe.
That was always my guess. Right? And he has like these growths on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see. And right, you could see on the back of his hand, there's a growth there. And then also when we get that close up, you look at his thumb.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Now I don't.
There's every chance that it was explained, but then cut.
That's entirely possible.
With it being sexual diseases,
Right.
It is called The Hands of the Ripper. They had to make something about that.
Yeah.
Well, there is a moment in the movie where actually there is a suggestion that there might be something supernatural going on. I mean, this is a movie about childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised at how many horror movies are really about childhood trauma. And
that's all the fucked up shit happens to people, that turn bad,
Yeah.
90% of the time.
And what's really interesting also about this is the fact that Peter Sasdy, who directed this, and I was trying to remember if he wrote it. Peter Sasdy wasn't like one of the major Hammer directors. He wasn't I'm trying to remember. I think he did Taste the Blood of Dracula, this. And I'm trying to remember. See, that's the thing. I got to start taking notes rather than always trying to go off the top of my head. But that's the ego. Oh, Countess Dracula. And so his movies were always, I think, on the Terrence Fisher and Freddie Francis. Those were like the typical, the usual Hammer directors. And I think Sasdy only did 3, but they're all superior, I think. Now, Peter, what did you think of Hands of the Ripper?
It was kind of My Fair Lady meets Halloween meets slasher movie.
Kind of, isn't it?
Yeah, the doctor is the dumbest man on the planet. I mean, you killed somebody else. Let's go away. I'll fix you. Don't worry.
Dr. Pritchard, who's played by the great Eric Porter.
Yeah.
And is very fond of the revolutionary ideas of this German fellow by the name of Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
Right.
It's there's a lot of things in it. I do have a feeling that the movie was cut. A lot of things were cut from it because it's a little bit disjointed in places, or it seemed to be.
Yes.
Yeah, like it doesn't flow together right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of reek of post-production fuckery.
Yeah, I think there was probably more nudity, probably more gore.
Cut all the boobs.
I think so too.
I think the goriest thing we get is an eyeball getting squished, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the kills in this are pretty brutal, and they're graphic, certainly for their time. Now, just to recount the plot for you folks, the film opens with we are in. It lets you know immediately where we at, which is Whitechapel, and Jack the Ripper, aka Saucy Jack, is on the run, and has literally a torch-wielding mob after his ass.
Did you go through a bunch of Jack the Ripper songs?
No, I mean, I just...
It's just when you said Saucy Jack.
Don't lie.
You're a
listened
naughty
about
one.
10 of them.
Saucy Jack.
You're a haughty one. Saucy
Jack.
Yeah. No, I'm like, dude, a Spinal Tap stand.
Spinal Tap,
in high school. In fact, my picture in the high school yearbook, like, they had to hunt me down because I wouldn't go to the photo sessions. They just took a picture of me in the hallway. I finally was like, okay. And I was in that picture. I'm wearing a Spinal Tap t-shirt. Very proudly.
I'm wearing a Jack the Ripper t-shirt.
Oh yeah, show that off. Well, dude, do you have merch yet?
Oh yeah, we have tons of merch. Yeah.
Sick. Well, dude, show someone.
That's
oh
dope.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
murder. This is the one that was on the first campaign. So it says along the bottom.
Fucking sick, dude.
Nice.
Along the bottom it says "Capture Old Leather Apron." We do have another version of it on our store at the moment, but that says "Capture Jack the Ripper," because we've got to give something to the people that backed us on the campaign, so they got the exclusive shirt. But I think there's like four or five Jack the Ripper shirts and mugs and posters and whatever you want. Yeah.
Merch is a good thing. We all should have it.
I got something.
So there's a guy who has like none.
I got something from across the ocean today.
What you get?
Look what the fucking condition of this.
Holy shit!
Oh man, it looks jacked up, bro.
Jacked up the Ripper. The Ripper.
It's like wow.
It's like Jack got it fried up.
It's
that's what jacked up, means. I didn't
it got
realize.
rained on and shit. It's in bad shape, man. I don't know who to bitch at, the UK postage or ours.
Dude, I should. You saw that video of the book that somebody in Singapore received from me, right?
Yeah.
Where it looked like it had been microwaved or something, and like the Gemini was pristine.
Oh yeah.
But the book itself, the pages were all warped and like glued together. Oh, it was painful.
Peter, do you know Nick Henry, London Gothic?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Good
what
guy.
that is. That's what that is.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're gonna be opening it. We'll unbox it on Thursday. We both like really hope that it's not messed up, but
yeah.
I don't think it's hurt. I don't think the book is hurt. It could have been.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing some stuff with him. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool, man. We call him the biceps of the madness.
See, I didn't know that the madness had biceps, Pops.
Yeah, well, I mean, Preston would be, but he don't hang out much, so.
Preston's a very sexy man. What can I say? He's like very he's very in demand, man. I always told him he was a rock star, and now he found out. My goal was always to get as much work done with him as possible before he found out he was a rock star. Now it's too late. He knows he's a rock star.
Now it's too late.
Yeah.
Now he ain't cheap, yo.
Yeah,
that's the way it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, he is going to do the last two issues of Six Gun. Saucy Jack runs into what turns out to be his home, and his wife is there with his 5-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, where you been at? I mean, the fact that she doesn't notice that maybe there's something a little off about hubby, just from that face, right? And
the weird thing about this is that child there, the age of that child, that's how old Bela Lugosi would have been at that time.
Look, mommy, there's blood on his hands.
You think about the same shit I think about, don't you, Peter?
Dude, it blows my mind that while Jack the Ripper was walking the streets, Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, all these people were kids.
Yeah. It really wasn't that long. That really wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. It's I think it's long enough to be able to do horror comics about it.
Yes.
Although judging by some responses from people, you'd think it happened yesterday.
Right. Yeah. But once again, it's that fascination that we have with this figure because of, well, so many things. The fact that the nature of the murders, the fact that he almost certainly, well, not almost certainly, he certainly had a knowledge of anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When he was chopping those bodies up, it wasn't just like a butcher. It was with surgical precision.
Oh,
and he did some horrible, hideous things that I shan't mention to this august society.
Oh, dude, when we did the launch stream for the first book, I wouldn't even dare show the photos.
My God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he was taunting the police. He was sending them those letters. You know, that's yours
They'll never
truly, Jack
catch
the
me.
Ripper. Never gonna get me. Never gonna get me. Catch
Sent
a
them
stain in it.
Sent them a kidney in a box. You know.
Oh, he did that too.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He boiled the heart too. That might have just been in the movie. But I figured out the guy who it was that they suspected and they allegedly cracked the case a year ago. And it was a guy that they had suspected a long time ago. It was a barber, a Polish Jewish barber. His name was
that guy.
Yeah, Kaminsky. DNA evidence emerged that suggests we can identify the true identity of Jack the Ripper as Schall was found by the body of Catherine Eddowes that contains forensic stains. Has been used to identify the killer as Aaron Kaminsky, a 23-year-old barber from Poland. And they used that DNA with his descendants to coincide with that Schall. And he was already like, you know, and there's testimonies of him having a hatred of women, and he's a barber, dude. You know what I mean? It just kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Well, barbers were also doctors in ye olden days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Peter.
Yeah. I was going to say, barbers and butchers, both doctors. Yeah.
Yep.
And he ended up in the loony bin after that too. You know what I mean? And so they're just, to me, it just seems kind of makes sense too, even with the DNA and all the stuff. Like,
wasn't he the one that they actually suspected and brought in and then released?
I think so. Yeah, he was one of them too. Like the detective even wrote his name in one of the margins of his notebook. I don't know if it was Aberline, but yeah, I think it was him. But you never really know.
Well, once again, I've always felt that the Jack the Ripper mystery is it's one of those mysteries that's meant to remain a mystery.
Yeah, he's the first supervillain. It's
not supposed to be solved.
You know, the first supervillain of all time. You know what I mean? Like it all comes from him. I think even the comic books, they kind of based on him subconsciously. He's fucking terrifying. He's horrific. He is horror. You know, he's the boogeyman. It all stems from him, bro.
As close as you can get to a human monster.
Yeah, and then after him, which they're kind of tapping a little bit, which is to me is equally as scary as Holmes, and they're doing that on Amazon. I think Keanu Reeves just bailed out, but Scorsese and DiCaprio were doing it
because he was also a potential suspect.
Yeah,
to be the Ripper. Yeah.
The Man in the White Tower, I think is what it's called.
Was it his trip to the UK coincided with things stopping briefly in America? Or and the killings, and then when he went back to the States, the Ripper killings stopped. So
yeah,
interesting.
Well, it probably doesn't all quite match up, though. You know, it's probably there's probably a little bit of bullshit in there just to make it sound right.
right.
Yeah.
Matt mentioned Murder by Decree before. That's Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
There was a comic that came out in the 80s that was actually bi-weekly called Blood of the Innocent, I think, and that was Dracula versus Jack the Ripper.
Oh man, yeah.
And what I don't understand is I know it's been done in fiction before, but I can still never understand why it's never been done as a film, which is the perfect matchup, which is Sherlock Holmes versus Dracula.
Yeah, no, oh wow, what the fuck? Hammer didn't nail that down?
Nobody. It's never been made, and I'm just like, that's the perfect combo because here you have a guy who's all about the rational, right? Is a total rationalist.
Oh yeah, they both are. They both are
being presented with the supernatural, and then everything that's once you rule out everything that's impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, and he's just gonna be like, yeah, I think the guy's a vampire,
right?
Looks like vampires are a thing.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I mean Van Helsing is kind of the Holmes figure.
Yes.
Already, so.
Yes. Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Bela Lugosi on screen with Basil Rathbone. That would have been fantastic.
Oh man.
Doing Dracula versus Holmes.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing. Yeah.
And then throw Abbott and Costello in there as well, just for the hell of it.
Just go around
last week, last week we did Son of Dracula, and one of the things we were talking about was it hadn't occurred to them yet that Dracula could come back from the dead. And so you had Daughter of Dracula, Dracula's Daughter, which is an amazing film. If you haven't seen that, definitely give that a look. And Son of Dracula. And, although in that, Lon Chaney Jr. is clearly Dracula. He's Alucard.
Yes.
You said you need to write that Drac and Holmes book, Brian.
Right?
I think there's at least been one novel so far. I would love to do that as a comic book. That would be amazing.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I've got my orders. I have my orders.
That's okay. Real quick, brother.
Yes, sir.
Let us know where people can find you.
You can find me on the Twitter at Peter Gilmore Art. Sometimes hanging around on Mandy Summers' YouTube channel. You can check out, I'm sure it's in the description or whatever, sign up for the mailing list for Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter Book 2, which continues the saga of Jack versus the Highgate Vampire. Nice. Which, incidentally, there's not enough movies about the Highgate Vampire. There should be tons of them, but there isn't.
I think most Americans, I don't think, know about the Highgate Vampire.
It's fascinating. Look into it.
It is.
Check it out on YouTube. Just type it into YouTube and all the weird documentaries and news broadcasts about it. And I remember it from when I was a kid. All these crazy people down in London jumping over fences and invading cemeteries and trying to find this vampire.
Oh my God!
Insane, absolute insanity for maybe 2 or 3 years.
One Naruto run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember you talking about that on another stream and having a very interesting story to tell. But that's gonna have to wait for another time.
Yeah. Excellent.
Brother, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
And give Mandy our love.
I will indeed. I will indeed, sir. Governor.
All right. Peace and love, brother.
Take it easy, Peter.
Have a good day.
And he out. So Saucy Jack's wife suddenly realizes, oh shit, I'm married to Jack the Ripper, and he stabs her to death. He stabs her to death right in front of their 5-year-old girl. And so she's watching this as it's unfolding, and something really interesting happens. He goes to comfort her. Right? She's screaming and he's grabbing her because, look at what she just saw. And he picks her up very tenderly and starts, kisses her and hugs her. And this is while her mother is in her death throes. Like she's still alive watching this when she finally expires. And then there's, and Freud talks about this too. Freud would and it's, I think, what book is that? It's in Beyond the Pleasure Principle. Yeah, and Beyond the Pleasure Principle, he talks about this deep-seated trauma that's kind of rigidly enforced repetition, compulsion, and all about a failure, an attempt and a failure to work through and in some way master that traumatic experience that left the mind wounded and scarred. And so there's the flash of the knife, there's the fire, right? And then we see this part of her crib, right, which seems to be made out of brass, is shining. And then we see her 15 years later, and basically she's acting as a voice for a fake medium.
Hey, Brian, are you showing the images right now?
Am I? What? No. Are you fucking serious? I've been talking all this stuff.
Yeah. Me just had us all.
The fuck out. Sorry, I'm all. Can you tell I'm discombobulated tonight? But yeah,
that one dude that was trying to that paid to have sex with her or whatever. That one dude, he was all smacking her and shit, dude. Damn, take it easy, bro. Wake up.
You have to understand that you had the members of the ruling class that would go down to Whitechapel, pick up a ho, and they could do whatever they wanted to these ladies and never have to worry about the law, right? Because things were then the way that they are now, which is you get the justice that you can afford.
Right.
And if you're killing people, and prostitutes have always been ideal victims because you can get them alone, right? You can get them alone. They'll come with you. You don't need to like kidnap them. They'll follow you. Yeah. And then after you've killed them, nobody's really going to give much of a fuck because the people who are dying are people that don't matter.
Right.
You know, they're just worthless as far as the society is concerned. But yeah, so, you know, this is the moment where the trauma gets branded into her brain. And so she's working as a ghostly voice for a fake medium. And then Eric Porter, who plays the doctor, he's there because he doesn't believe in this shit and completely busts them and ruins the whole thing. So the young lady ends up in jail. Not a very pleasant place to be. And, you know, there's most of the girls that are on lockup. They're there because they're ho-ho-hos that have been
there before, and they'll be there again. And
Yep. On a name-to-name basis with the
ones like, you're not coming in my cell, bitch.
How you doing, Cindy? Right? And so she's there, and you know, it looks like a flower in a cesspool, and obviously, I mean, not that these ladies belong there, because it's bullshit that prostitution is illegal, but she's more a victim than victimized, that's for sure. Not that shit. I mean, prostitution's a victimless crime anyway, but that this is where Peter made that interesting comment that it's kind of like My Fair Lady, right?
Yeah, this is where it got weird.
Yeah, and so for the first time, she's being really treated like a human being, and but really goes from the outhouse to the penthouse. So it's not like there's something in between to buffer that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so she's staying in this wealthy lord's house. And this is where we first see the curse, if you want to call it that, emerges. Right. And the trauma is reactivated. Right. This young lady's taking care of her, dressing her up, making her look beautiful, puts this beautiful necklace around her neck, and then she sees the light shining, and boom, she's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is kind of how PTSD works too.
Mm-hmm. Something triggers an episode of remembrance, or
Yeah, and sometimes people can be rather cruel to people that have been traumatized as children. They're like, "Well, that was a long time ago. Why don't you get over it?" They can't. That's the thing. They can't. It's a sort of thing that can be.
You didn't get to process it as a youngster in the way that you should, so you'll never be able to accept exactly kind of whatever happened as an adult, because you couldn't process it. So your memories are vague and from a child's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like I mean, there's weird shit. I get flashes of weird shit, from my stepdad when I was a kid, and it's like, I might not really understand exactly what I'm remembering from, I'm trying to look at it from an adult point of view, and that's not. I was a little kid. I don't know. I might have done something really shitty and deserved that ass whooping or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, we might block out the reason for whatever that we might have caused said trauma. I got a few ass whoopings when I was a kid that come back in flashbacks, and it was I probably deserve that.
Oh God. Yeah. So. This is a great moment because I just love this scene, because she has like a hand mirror that she's looking into, and she throws it back and it smashes against the mirror behind her and is turned into a knife. Now look at her
Look
hand.
at the hand. Yeah.
Look at that hand.
She got daddy's genes.
That looks to me like there actually maybe is something supernatural going on here, right? Because this isn't like we're seeing her hand through her eyes. We're seeing this from a third person point of view.
Right.
So this isn't like somebody's perception. This is reality.
Yeah, I would say so. In the Hammer verse.
Right. And oh man, brutal fucking throat slashing. Yeah, and she sticks her. Oh man,
Indiegogo cuts in Indiegogo will
they'd be pissed off about that.
They'd be getting pissed sometimes. They'd be getting pissed sometimes, randomly pissed off. Like, you know what? I don't like gore on this campaign.
Yeah. We approved it, but not anymore.
This looks like
so
violence
rando
against the women. This is like violence against the women, that sort of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Right. Like, okay. But like other violence is okay. It's just like it's all imaginary. None of it's real.
Yeah, but there's something really badly missing about this kill.
Yeah, which is
there would be blood coming out the mouth like a horror fucking film, dude. Not like this.
Oh yeah.
It's missing. Somebody missed that. You know,
right? But for its time, it's
hey, Brian, go back.
Pretty brutal.
I got something worse. Go back, Brian. Look at that. What's wrong? Okay, next one over. What's wrong with that?
This one here?
Next one. One where the knife's touching it. Nope. The next one. Back. That one. What's wrong with that?
The angle?
Well, look where the knife's cutting and where the blood's squirting from.
Yeah.
I mean, the angle.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You're noticing that because it's a still, right?
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't notice it prior, yeah.
Right. And so it's what I refer to as cheating. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to do it in horror films. Like when there's a quick flash of the monster, I have to fight myself to keep from hitting the rewind button and then pausing to get a good look at the monster because the director doesn't want me to get a good look at the monster.
It demystifies
right. The whole idea is that whoa, what the fuck was that?
I only hit rewind on boobs.
What was that?
I only hit rewind on boobs. Sometimes you need a second look.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I'm more about the culo myself, but you know, it's all good. I like a nice booty shot. Oh yeah, this chicken. Yeah, and
that one had blood coming out the mouth and the wound.
Yep.
I think they just missed an opportunity for a good right out the mouth gusher on that throat shot.
Definitely, yeah. No, I hear that. Yeah. So, then Eric Porter's character, the doctor, he introduces her to this lady, and they're hugging, and she goes to that trance, and that's how it ends up.
Brian, do me a favor.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, of course.
Invite ID to come in here so that you can quit ignoring all his comments.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, ID has the link.
I know. Invite him to come in here because you're not.
Yeah, dude. If you want to hop in,
he's out there commenting. He's getting ignored.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry about that, bro. But yeah, was the first servant victim in tub for the duration of the film because I don't remember seeing anyone do any cleanup. Yeah. See, that's the thing that's really fucked up about Eric Porter's character, the doctor, Dr. Pritchard, is that he has his heart in the right place, right? Because this poor girl, she doesn't deserve any of this. None of it's her fault. She might as well be a werewolf, right? At the same time, she needs to be fucking stopped, but he thinks he can help her. And I think there's something a little selfish in his motive in the sense that, this is like a major case for me to try out like this Freud fella's theories. And I think I can help her. But meanwhile, the body count is rising, dude. It's like people are getting knifed and killed. And, and it's terrible. Of course, then you think to yourself, well, what else can he do, right? Because if he contacted the authorities, where would she end up? She would end up in Bedlam, which was pretty much like a prison or a concentration camp. for the mentally ill. Back in the Disney, they didn't give you meds, they didn't give you therapy, they just fucking threw you in a fucking hole. They just threw you in a fucking dungeon, and the prisoners and the guards could fucking abuse you as much as they wanted. It was as close as I think as you could get to the notion of hell on earth. Mm. So that's always kind of looming, right? I forget if it's mentioned or not, but yeah, no, he thinks he can help her, and it's not that he's not compassionate. It's not that he doesn't care about her, but he's terribly irresponsible.
They're both really good actors in here too. I gotta say, she's believable in her role, and so is he. Him even more so. But I mean, she is fucking,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Eric Porter's terrific.
No complaints at all about. No complaints at all about the casting or the performances.
Yeah. I just need more Ripper, bro.
I hear you. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Hammer movies, and one of the main reasons why they're so great, why they work, it's because no matter how ludicrous the plots can be, sometimes the actors are always playing it straight.
They're fucking English, bro.
With balls out conviction, like they're doing Shakespeare, right?
Yeah, they're thespians, dude.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And that's what I love so much about the Hammer movies. Even kind of like when they might be winking at you a little, the actors are not winking at you at all.
Yeah, it sells it, dude.
It really does. It really does. And that was one of the main keys to the formula for sure. ID Crisis says, if the victim could have seen Jack the Ripper and the Morton and then turned around first, yes. Yeah, man. That would have been creepy. That would have been very creepy. Then we would have definitely known that it was a curse. But that detail of the hand, when I watched this again yesterday, I saw that, I think, for the first time. Like, I didn't notice it in prior viewings.
I missed it. You dropped the link for this movie, and I was like, Pew! I fucking jumped right on that shit. At the time, I watched the movie real quick. I think it was like day you dropped it. So. And
as a matter of fact, what up, ID?
Yeah, I snuck out. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. What up?
Nothing much. Just ducking out of work real quick to put in my few minutes here. I couldn't help but notice that one thing, and you tell me honestly, this is an honest question. It's really more about like how I view things, not just like movies, but comic books or stuff. If I see something out of place or wrong, and I think that it might just be a limitation of the special effects, or like somebody, like it was bad proofreading, or you didn't have enough money to spend on an editor or something like that. Is it bad form to point that out? Because that guy needed to have the other end of the sword going through the other side.
Yeah,
right.
Did you notice that?
There are a few spots that
exactly.
Without a doubt.
Exactly. And some of the stuff I didn't even think about until like right now, because I'm for whatever reason, like trying to pinpoint what it was about this movie that I didn't like it. Like everybody else is saying, it didn't have anything to do with the acting. The casting was great. In fact, I thought it was way better than the script deserved. Right. And if I was going to go with script, I would have to actually go even further into the bones of the thing. Like that, this movie wasn't written the right way to actually deliver scares. To deliver blood, sure, right. But everything seemed
pathos too.
Laid out, telegraphed.
Right.
Like you already know, and this is probably a bad example. It's probably been done way better in other movies, and I have no idea how I ended up getting onto Malignant. So I watched that.
Oh boy!
Oh, that movie's
Did you like?
I love that movie.
Did you like that one?
Yeah,
I watched it once.
Yeah, it was an interesting.
Blown the fuck away.
It was an interesting concept. Yeah, but then when I got to the end and. Well, right. So, I got to the end of it, and I was like, I can see how that happened, but it was that reveal at the end, and I don't know that they needed to reveal this at the end or what was actually going on, but it was kind of like that thing with Alucard. Okay, we're gonna read it and spell it backwards, and then we're gonna write it backwards. Now nobody's going to get that aha moment at the end. It's just a matter of who's she gonna kill next. Right. And she's going to have that stone face on because we know that it's a matter of PTSD and all that stuff. There was no, she didn't have to do any work to get away with anything. You know what I mean? Like maybe it would have worked out better if like an alter ego, or if you really want to sell that possession thing, that first kill where there's a mirror right there. Yeah. That woman could have seen Jack the Ripper standing behind her, made her turn around, and then she gets her throat slashed.
You know what's interesting about that?
Jack himself, you know, like that would have been scary too.
Right.
To see the guy,
yeah.
Without
absolutely.
her there, period.
Yeah. That would have been fantastic. Like the mirrors revealing the true person that's in charge at that moment. Yeah.
Yep.
And you could have seen it in a pane of glass. You could have seen it in a puddle.
You know?
Yeah, puddle. Yeah, dude, that would have been sick.
In the reflection of a
with the
pendant,
fucking hat,
like there is in the
hat,
movie,
you know, just fucking walking up in the
card?
footsteps.
Remember Peter was pointing out like how there's like some janky editing in this
movie.
It feels like a little disjointed.
A little jarring.
It could be that was an element in the film that ended up on the cutting room floor, as those sorts of things do. Like if you've ever seen the special edition DVDs and Blu-rays of The Crow, you get to see all the scenes that they shot with the Skull Cowboy.
Cowboy,
right? Right, which is like a that's an entire element of the film.
Yeah,
that was removed.
Yeah, the book too. You know,
right?
You guys read the book?
I did. I read the book. It was like one of the first times I ever experienced what underground art was like, and while it was good, I didn't get it.
Yeah, I see.
Well, no, I mean it was good, but it's like an acquired taste, and I always refer to it as that there's a garage band thing. Exactly. You know, where you can hear the promise in a garage band once they get into a studio and they understand what all those knobs are for. You know, then on the board, then they'll be able to really polish that thing and polish that sound. But you can still hear the promise in the early music,
right?
And that's how I see a lot of indie books like that. Yeah, exactly. I see a lot of indie books like that. That diamond in the rough.
Yeah. Like
but that's how I saw The Crow too.
Yeah, it's technically it's all over the place, and it's very and it has a amateurishness to it, but it makes up for that with sheer force of will.
Yep.
Well, right, and that's perfect, but that's exactly the opposite of what's happening here. There's a lot of polish on this movie. All the rough edges are where somebody didn't go, you know what? That doesn't make any sense, and it's not going to scare anybody. It'll lead them along, and there's a story, and there's blood, and there's killings. And, of course, you think there's going to be killings. But right from the get-go, who are the hands of the Ripper? What makes them work? And if they could have pulled it off with more of a malignant type thing, and maybe there's a word for that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be near the end of the movie. You can do it like, you know, near the end of the second act, and then the third act is all about go find her and get, you know, and how does it end? Does she get committed or doesn't she? And if she gets committed, here's a good ending. If she gets committed to what Pops was saying, your hell on earth, your guards.
Yeah.
Those guards are not going to be safe if they decide to, you know,
yes,
go after her.
Yes.
I think it's raining outside because his paws are wet.
Oh.
And he's all over me, dude.
Oh, he's a pooch.
How do they smell?
Like wet dog, I'm assuming?
No, I mean sometimes my dog gets out there, he gets excited, and he ends up stepping in what he did before.
Oh no.
They have a track that they run. They don't poop on it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. My dog's not that smart.
Look, he got all embarrassed. You started talking about poop. He's like, "No, that's not
poop on my feet." He's going to smell his feet. No, but seriously, I think that it's one of those great concepts that if you just took a little bit more time to think about it, and I realize I'm practically tearing down this whole Jenga tower and building it back up again, but you could have done a lot better. You could have done a lot better job with all of these characters if you just started with why do we want everyone to know that it's her from frame one?
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Yeah. And that's all I have to say about that.
Gotcha. I think that shot that I mentioned of her hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yes.
This one, right? Let's see, right
there. Exactly. Where it's his hand.
Yeah, because this is the only time I think that this happens in the movie that I
didn't even notice it either. Too. Like I don't remember even noticing it.
It does. It happens pretty fast.
Because I think that this was an element this was the element that was cut out of the movie.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and imagine now, how cool would it have been if not just her hand goes through that metamorphosis, but the rest of her face, and that possible. Here's an idea: none of her victims or anybody who's seen her going in and out recognize her because she has transmogrified or whatever.
Right.
That the possession is so complete that it's actually changed her physical appearance.
Yes.
So people see this horribly scarred, girl, but meanwhile she looks like a porcelain doll when she's not in the throes of, you know what, man, why didn't they come talk to me before? I mean, that was only what? When was this? 1970? What?
Oh, this was still in the 60s, I think.
Oh, is it in the 60s?
No,
well, I guess
early,
I wasn't around.
Early 70s. Yeah, I see. Now I have to look that up. Otherwise, it's just gonna try me.
It's gonna kill me, right?
It's gonna drive me off the wall. 71.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing that would drive someone to want to reboot it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why didn't they? You know what? I'm going to sell this.
They never do that.
Well, not with the ones that need to be rebooted. They take not say like need to be rebooted, but they take something that was already okay.
Don't remake a good movie. Remake a movie that was almost good.
Yeah, right. Like The Crow, they're trying to remake that all the time, and you don't even need to remake it. You know what I mean?
No.
And there's a lot of shit different in the book. Like the Skull Cowboy, the dude's a mechanic. He's not in a band. The band thing in the movie is kind of better in a way. In the book, he doesn't live in the suburbs. He lives in the suburbs. He doesn't live in the fucking city. They're just little shit like that, you know. You don't like.
Well, I could totally see the band thing because everybody's musical taste was taking a huge shift towards grunge at the time, and that's what mostly made up a lot of the soundtrack.
And it's dirty Detroit, like in the city. Just keep it dirty Detroit. You don't have to fucking move it back to the suburbs where the dude lives in the suburbs and he's a mechanic. Right. You know, and they kind of did that in the second one. Just keep it all in fucking Detroit. Make it it's Detroit rock the fuck city, and just keep it as a band. You know what I mean? Like it's.
But it's also
perfect.
It's Detroit, but it's not Detroit. Like in City of Angels, LA, but it's not LA.
Yeah.
Right? They're fantasy, right? They're fantasy. They're
parallel universes of that place in the 90s.
Right. Kind of like, Gotham City is New York City, but it's not New York City, and Metropolis. What was it? I think they said that Metropolis is New York City during the Midtown during the day, and
Gotham is the Bronx at night.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my thing. That's my spiel. I'm gonna go run back into work and finish listening to the show. Thanks for listening to my gas.
Oh, we appreciate it, brother.
That was fun.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping by, brother.
All right, see you guys next week.
Later, bro.
All right, see you in a week.
Peace.
Yeah, there you go, Sim.
Sim's right, dude. It's it's a job title. You know what I mean? It's not like it's Raven. The job fucking title, like Thor Thor ain't a job title. Sorry, Batman is. Thor's a god.
Now they changed that too.
Yeah, they made him a job title now. So
yeah, fucking
Thor's the surfer now, dude.
Yeah, I'm Thor.
Thor's the surfer now.
I'm Thor now.
I do love me some Throg though.
That's old school though. See,
yeah, that's true.
I will say about the ending to this though. I think possibly Francis Ford Coppola was inspired by the ending of this, and he put it in Bram Stoker's Dracula because it has Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder kind of like laying down on the floor in the chapel, and it's dying together. But then they look up at the ceiling of the chapel, and it's a mural of them flying into eternity, kind of. And I kind of thought of that a little bit. I don't think this is a chapel though, but it still has that same circular layout, and he might have taken some inspiration. He takes inspiration from a lot of stuff, I think, like anybody does.
Absolutely.
Man, he's
and
freaking
Coppola was definitely aware of these movies. He definitely, Scorsese,
like
of course, is a Hammer stan.
So is Tim Burton. Like if you go watch Batman with the whole cape, it's totally Christopher Lee. You know what I mean? It's a fucking Hammer movie. The first Batman movie, even 2, and then Sleepy Hollow even says it's a Hammer movie. It's got Christopher Lee running around in there, fuck around.
The dog's freaking fur is so thick right now that you can't pet him without coming off with a handful.
Oh wow, he's getting they're getting their winter coats now.
Oh dude, it's just starting to get cold, and they're like, oh yeah, they're getting thick right away, man.
But yeah, I agree with what Sim is saying here.
Me too.
Like with the Crow sequels, it's just like, well, you can go any place and anywhere in time.
They're dope, dude. Like I buy the books. Like whenever I would see them, I try to pick one up because it would always be something else. Like, oh, there's a pregnant lady that got murdered, so she comes back. You know, there's a dude in Juarez. Yeah. He comes back. He's a fucking. I think he was like a fighter or something. He was in Juarez, a Juarez Crow, dude. And he had a mohawk that came. He was fucking badass. It was just fun. I love those stories, dude. Anytime I could see one, you know, and it's just. You get to do your little color, you do your little makeup on the Crow. You know what I mean? Do a little badass revenge story, a little fucking popcorn, quick, in and out, little like maybe 3 or 4 issues, nothing too crazy, and that's it. You move on to the next Crow.
Odd coinky dink that we're talking about this because when David Goyer, who's written
everything.
Yeah, it was.
If it wasn't for that motherfucker, we wouldn't have a lot of dope comic movies. He kind of started with Blade and fucking Batman Begins.
Absolutely,
fuck off the world. I don't care. I'll defend that guy for a minute. But anyway, sorry.
Absolutely, and so he was hired by Edward Pressman to write the next Crow movie. So was Rob Zombie, but the screenplay that he turned in was a ripoff of Vampire Hunter D.
Oh no!
With it had nothing to do with the Crow.
It's probably like a post-apocalyptic desert. Well, if it was a Vampire Hunter D, it'd be Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, that's what he did. He did a Vampire Hunter D movie and tried to shoehorn the Crow thing in there. Fuck Rob Zombie. David Goyer was like, I think his first draft of the screenplay was about a victim of Jack the Ripper.
Oh, that's fucking dope. See, why are you gonna hate on that?
Right. Yeah, and it's just like, huh? Oh, well, okay, all right. You know, I mean, I still love City of Angels. I think that's a very underrated movie. I would love to see a director's cut of that because that definitely
fucking love that. Well, I told you before, and I'll say it again. Even I went and saw that. I was I love the fucking Crow. When I was, I grew up and I was born in '83. I seen the Crow. Like I was saying, I'm gonna say this when ID was on. I seen the fucking graphic novel when I was there, and I never bought it. It was always in the goth section with a bunch of gargoyles. I'll check that out later. You know what I mean? But I'll watch the movie. And eventually, I've seen the movie 1,000 fucking times. I've seen some of the artwork growing up, and I never got around to buying it. And then 2 years ago, my wife bought me the fucking graphic novel, like the special edition one,
Nice.
And then I was like, okay, I fucking connect with this dude. You know what I mean? I already knew all the stuff about him and everything that happened and the inspiration and everything. I was like, this guy's fucking indie as fuck. He's metal as fuck. He's garage as fuck. So like, I love this stuff, Then, anyways, jumping back to the Crow 2, that came out. There was there was a commercial where you would see a shadow of the Crow flying right at a wall, and the shadow would morph into the human, and I was expecting that to happen through the whole fucking movie, and I was just like, oh, dude,
that happens.
It never happened.
But that happens sometimes. That there are scenes that are in trailers that aren't in the films,
aren't in the movies, yeah.
Right, because often the trailers are assembled before the filmmakers are done with editing.
Yeah.
Right. So that does right. Like for instance, in 28 Weeks Later, there was something that was in the trailer that wasn't in the movie that I really felt should have been.
That's the cover too. They had that graphic novel. Nope, that's not the cover. There's another one with Obar. That's not it. That shit's so fucking good, dude.
This is Memento Mori.
So good.
Yep.
Which is,
love the IP. Like if you ever came to me like, hey, Matt Burke, you want to do a fucking Crow book? Fuck yeah. I'll put everything on hold and do a Crow book.
Oh, dude, I already have a script.
Like, oh, you got a script lined up, Matt Burke? No, I don't got a script. I'll fucking make one. Give me fucking 3 hours.
One.
Give me 3 hours. I got you.
I got a few other ones.
Lock myself in a closet and I'll fucking write that shit.
Oh, and also,
bathroom. Okay, I like the Crow.
I love it.
Real quick.
Yeah, we know. That's
Sim,
why I pulled those out.
You're number one, bro.
I said, dude, I'm like, fuck you, Sim. I hate you.
Yeah, no,
I'm so jelly, dude.
He's always
Sim's
got the
all
cool
the fucking goodie books, dude.
Yeah, it was interesting because like that was a comic I could never find a copy of when it first came out. I saw it advertised. You know, I bought other Caliber comics, and so there'd be like a little ad in there for it, but I never saw it on the rack.
Before this stream, off topic, Bancroft dropped a fucking a video about like Iron Age and stuff, and he was saying something about like, what do you think that this movement's gonna have someone that's gonna possibly produce the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I'm like thinking in my head, fuck yeah, maybe they're not here now, but potentially, fuck yeah, dude. The sky's the limit for fucking
Mary boys.
What we're doing right now. Yeah,
I've seen a few.
I think there's a bunch. I think there's a bunch. Not the Merc. I think.
Now look, I've seen a few. Yeah, I've seen a few that have the talent, and the only problem is that the genre might not be quite in the way that it's going to go that big. Like I think Ed Gein Demon Hunter. I think Ed Gein Demon Hunter is just fucking bomb. The story, the art, everything about it.
I need to read.
But it's a genre. It's a niche.
Right. And a lot of our books are like R-rated niches. They're not really. I know Ninja Turtles was, but but you never know, dude.
It blew up.
You know what I mean?
It blew up.
It blew up.
It blew up.
And so they could turn it as an amorphous. You know what I mean? You can change shit.
And horror movies are being produced, en masse in on very, very low budgets. I mean, you could shoot a movie on your phone these days, right? There are people that make very professional looking movies with very, very little money.
I want to do Ed Gein as a live action episodic show.
Man. Should make it like a episodic TV show.
I mean, since they're all going into the dollars and all that shit on Netflix, why not? Right?
Well, I think there's some stuff that's ideally suited to the serialized format, and some stuff that's ideally suited towards feature film. And I think if you have enough story for 6 episodes, 8 episodes, okay. But you also don't want to be you don't want to be stretching it like a piece of toffee.
Nope.
And sometimes you want it short and sweet, 85 minutes, 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately the best thing, dude. I think movies are ultimately kind of the best, unless it's like a quick 3 miniseries,
It's
the
preferred.
If you're going to go on a TV series or something serialized, you have to have a lot of content. I mean,
a lot of content, a lot of world building and lore. It's a lot of that.
A movie, you only got to describe enough to get a motherfucker through 2 hours.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
You do that episodic show, week after week or whatever, you got to be able to explain all these new characters coming in, what all their shit is. You got to have a lot of content to fill, hours.
Well, you have to have story. You have to have story. That's what I loved about Arcane, was the fact that had enough story for like 8 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Or Primal, for instance, man. Oh my God, I can't stop talking about Primal. It's so fucking dope. Amazing. I hate my younger self by 1 year for not seeing that sooner. But also at the same time,
that art. I still love that banner, that art.
Yeah,
that right there. Look, the only thing missing was a scene like that where you were getting a reflection in a big pendant or something. That's the only thing that would have been great if they would have done one of the scenes as a reflection in a big jewel, just like this.
Yeah, but what I also love about this though is that each piece of the jewel, right? Each angle of it has like its own little scene from the movie.
Yeah. But I mean, if one of the actual death scenes in the movie would have been seen through the reflection of a big jewel like that, that just would have made that movie poster that much cooler.
So am I the only person that really likes this movie?
Well, like I said,
I get that feeling.
No, I told you, I like the casting. I like the story. I think that they didn't quite set up the hands part enough.
Right. Like I said, I think that was something that was probably in the original version of the film, and then ended up on the cutting room floor for whatever reason, and I think it kind of shows. But
I mean, they could have called it the Ripper's daughter or something, and totally took that aspect away.
That's a good point.
That's
a good point. But also the fact that the title is Hands of the Ripper, and we see that one shot where
shot, yeah, and no explanation. Yeah. That's what I mean.
So it had to have been cut out. Yeah, that's something that never occurred to me before, because I also never noticed that detail until yesterday when I watched it over and then did screen caps. Yeah, you did, Sim. Yeah, you did. Like I said, I want to hop in a time machine, go back 1 year and fucking slap myself. Why aren't you watching Primal? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, why aren't you watching Primal? The fuck?
And whip, and disappear back into the future.
Well, dude, I thought the show was over and fucking there was 2 more episodes. I was like, oh shit. Hey, I didn't like the ending though. Fuck that shit.
I know. I kind of didn't like it either. At the same time, Genndy Tartakovsky says he's done
with Primal.
That he's done with Primal, and that if it does come back, it's going to be as a
episodic, an anthology show,
done in ones. What I'm hoping is that he does a fucking Conan cartoon.
Yeah, no,
holy shit, he'd be perfect for it.
Well, some of the best news I heard probably in the last month was that they're not making Conan on fucking Amazon or whatever the fuck. There's too much fucking machismo. So,
that was an old story. Yeah.
About a month ago, right, or 3 weeks ago.
Like people have been talking about that again, but it was kind of like old news that there was a new head of the of Amazon Studios, and she took a look at Conan and went, "Toxic masculinity."
Yeah, he's the godfather of that shit. Like,
he is.
He's the motherfucker, Like,
it's a male power fantasy.
Yeah,
right?
Totally. Dude.
Conan is not the man those anymore, Brian. He's the man you wish you were.
Brian,
totally, dude. He's man of war, dude.
We're not allowed to have those anymore. Okay?
I know.
We're not allowed.
I know.
Who's Teen Hellraiser?
That's because fucking all like there was a term toxic masculinity. I was like, oh, I understand what that means. That means like real macho motherfuckers, like knuckle draggers, right?
Yeah.
But now it's just toxic masculinity is just referring to just masculinity.
Yep.
Right.
So masculinity itself is under attack, and I think it's fuck it. I absolutely think that there's psyops involved. I absolutely think that they're undermining the masculinity of the American male. That it's that the fucking CIA is doing psyops.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what. I seen a post today, cracked me up. Somebody said that we should send all the SJWs. We should make them all sign up for a draft. And I was like, well, then we'd have the pussiest fucking army in the world.
Right? It'd be fun, though. It'd be fun. I'd love to see their looks on their eyes when they were fucking dropped in a fucking war zone.
No. They wouldn't make it through the boot camp gas chamber, dude.
No,
come on. They wouldn't make it through physical training. It's like, come on.
I mean, neither would I. But I mean, they're just
when you were a teenager, would you have been able to do it? No, when you were a teenager, would you have been able to go through boot camp?
No way.
I did.
Yeah, no, I was always kind of weak and sickly, overweight. I didn't have kids my age to play with in my neighborhood, and so I wasn't doing a lot of shit that other kids were doing. Climbing up trees and doing all this other running around the woods, doing all kinds of crazy shit.
So what were you doing, Brian?
I was very much. Oh, geez. I was like, hanging out in a tree house wearing an old leather jacket of my father's, pretending that I was John Shaft, pretending I was like, or walking around the house with a blanket or a curtain thrown over my shoulders, pretending I was Barnabas Collins or whatever.
Hey, Brian,
you see,
share my screen, Brian.
Yeah.
Look at this, Brian. Share my screen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that looks great.
That's when you get Rambo and fucking He-Man together and a little John Matrix thrown in.
Oh, man, your shit is so jolly.
Thanks, man.
It's so happy.
I like that he's wearing a championship belt.
Oh, because he's a fucking wrestler too, and he's in a metal band. He's a drummer. His fucking toxic masculinity.
Oh my god! Oh, there's something about Matt's work that's just so fuck you,
dude.
It's a male power fantasy of the fucking whatever the fuck period we're in now. The Iron
because we
Age.
can't have those anymore, and so how much are you looking forward to a totally cockified James Bond? That's gonna be really fucking funny.
James Cook.
Yeah, exactly. Who's?
Can I make you dinner?
James Bond, Daniel Kibble Smith.
Can I make you dinner? Baked, not shaked.
Yeah, right. Oh, Christ.
He's the guy you tell to go make you a sandwich after you sleep with his wife.
Go grab an apron, buddy. Put on that apron, motherfucker. No, I ain't hating, dude. I mean, I'll make some bomb ass breakfast burritos. I'll grill up some tri-tip. But fuck this shit, dude. I cook for my family.
Dude, and then it was like after I left Amazon, the last word that I had heard, this was months ago, was that they were going to do a Conan series and a Solomon Kane series on Netflix.
That would have been fucking jizz, bro. Like, that sucks,
dude, I don't want it. I'm like, anything.
Yeah.
Dude, they're raping every IP. They're not leaving any stone untouched.
They're pillaging. They are.
Everything.
Full Viking mode. Yeah,
everything. Scorched fucking Earth policy.
Like I was saying, like that's the best fucking news I've heard all week.
Star Wars,
James
Bond, you name it. So I'd rather get no Conan series than a pussified Conan series.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Solomon Kane. Oh,
I got that Solomon Kane book too for $12. The fucking the complete like, and I was reading it and then I got sidetracked and I'm like, fuck, I always see it. You know, I got my fucking scanner and I stack all my shit on top of my scanner.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I got all these fucking books, and I'm like, dude, I gotta, I'm trying to read them all and do a bunch of shit. And that Solomon Kane one is like the one I want to read, like a lot.
One of the things, the thing that's great about the collections like that is that if you want to, you could just read a story and then go read something else, right?
I know, dude. I need to just do that. Just hit it real quick.
At the same time, if you're a Solomon Kane, I mean, he's literally my favorite character. You know, I just,
I just read the Red Right Hand. I'm reading the one I think where he goes to Africa now and he's about to fight those big fucking winged beast motherfuckers. You know,
that's when Wings in the Night. That's when it really gets.
And it's in chronological order, dude. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. And it's so cool, dude. Like reading that style of like book, you know what I mean? And I'm like looking in my head. Okay, I got these pictures in my head, and they're forming in my head of the story. I wonder what someone else's idea and what perspective they've seen this. You know, because I'm looking at it and it's like a comic book in my head.
Right.
It's like
and Solomon Kane has been in comic books since the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Because once Conan was such a breakout hit, they were looking for other characters. So they went to Kull, for instance, and they felt he was too much like Conan.
Too much like Conan, dude.
Scar, which was kind of stupid. But Kull is a completely different character.
Completely different. 1,000 years earlier than him.
Yes.
I think that there should have been more of an artistic distinction between the two. Because even like all the badass motherfucking legends that drew him, they still kind of give him a Conan look. I think they should have like changed him a little bit, dude. Like even I don't know, dude, because like Conan, he's tanned up, he's got black hair and blue eyes. You know, make this guy give him blonde hair, give him red hair, make him look a little different. So give him. You need about a 2-second like differentiate him from Conan. And there I'm like,
yeah, but you see,
he's got a crown on his head. It's a little Solomon Kane and Conan. Big fucking difference.
Man.
You know what I mean? You just see him, there's just a big there's a big fucking difference. With him, it's hard, dude. Like give him something different. Something, you know?
Well, I mean,
because they are descendants. He's a descendant. He's an Atlantean, right? So
and he appears in a Conan story too.
And it's funny because Conan's a fucking Viking, but he doesn't really look like a Viking, but he's a fucking Viking. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he's a barbarian. He's a barbarian.
But I mean,
further up north.
But he's from the north.
Where he's at.
Which is
he's the Northman, but he's not like a
Germanic,
Scandinavian.
But he's not. But he's a Scandinavian.
The barbarians were Germanic tribes.
But a lot of them were Scandinavian. So I've always seen him as a Scandinavian. They bleed over because the Germanic, you know.
Yeah, but you assume because of his mountaineering skills and the fact that Samaria is very mountainous. And if you look where it's located, if you look at the map of Hyboria, and I love doing this because it's very simple. You're
north.
Like, oh, that's Argos. That's Greece. Oh,
right.
right? Brithunia, like
where's
Stygia, that's Egypt. You're like,
where's Samaria? Where's Samaria at?
It's right in the middle.
Okay.
It's right in the middle. It's like Central Europe. It's Germany.
Okay. So like for me, I always again, that's Germanic, blonde hair, blue eyes, 90% of the time. You know what I mean? But I know that they bred, and you're gonna get the different, races, But for me, like when I think of Atlanteans, I think, Greek. I think that they're gonna have, and he doesn't look like that. So
I think blue skin and webbed feet, but that's just me. Okay?
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I mean, damn, you saw the fucking, oh God, every time I see that Namor.
No, see, I still think blue
Dr.
skin
Doom
and
isn't
webbed
in that
feet.
piece of shit, man.
They're not going to change my perception of what things should be.
Yeah, fuck that. He's too Aztec and Mayan looking. And that's not the way that's not how he looks in the books. It's too
Latino,
hard lean on that inspiration, which is dope as fuck. It's not with Namor, dude, with a different character. You know what I mean? Which I respect.
Yeah.
But I think Conan and Cole, they should have had more of a different look, And again, to me, Conan, he's always been kind of Germanic, fucking Viking-esque, dude. Like Frost Giant's dog. He's not fucking. Yeah. I'm gonna go full force. He's a fucking Viking, bro.
Get ready to write this story,
Viking,
bro.
That was always what irked me, is because it was Samaria was like fucking Scandinavia, but it's Atlantean at the same time.
No, I mean, no, dude. If you look at the map, I'm telling you, the Scandinavians, like the Scandinavian areas, are right above it. Like the Nestor the Gunderman,
from the Frost Giant's daughter, right?
Yeah, Frost Giant's daughter.
He has to go up there.
Yeah. That's where like the blonde haired and the redheaded people are. Yeah.
Blue blood. That makes sense, dude.
What's up, Pops?
I want the Caribbean Namor. I want the Jamaican Namor. I want the Namor.
They call me Namor feet.
I want the Namor from the Gulf of Mexico. Can you do that for me? Can you give me the Gulf of Mexico water god?
They call me Namor feet.
You see what I'm saying? I want the one that's okay with the ganja. He's okay with the people trying to make money. He protects the people in Haiti and everywhere, right?
Well, he looked like he stepped off the set of fucking Mel Gibson's Apocalypto.
They need a superhero, bro.
Sorry, dude.
They need a superhero. Somebody write me a Caribbean superhero. They need one really bad.
They have to differentiate him from fucking Momoa. And Momoa, he kind of looks Greek in a way, and Momoa is perfect for fucking Conan. And again, I would keep recasting him. This movie sucks. Cast Momoa again. This movie sucks. Cast Momoa again. This movie sucks. I would keep doing it because he looks the part. You know what I mean? You got the fucking Pacific Islander. You got the fucking Irish blood in there too. He's mixed. He fucking looks, got the blue eyes. He looks like a fucking, and he's genetically Conan set up. Right. Then he could fucking throw axes and do all this shit. He's perfect for the motherfucking role. Like, but I would also pick Cavill too. I like Cavill a lot. Like Big John Buscema. Imagine him, right? With that fucking ugly ass Conan wig with the bangs all like that, but then chopped a little bit. Dude, he'd be fucking. The Buscema Conan
is like, to me, the second definitive Conan after Frazetta.
Frazetta. Me too. But like for me, like whenever I want to draw him, like whenever I see Frazetta's Conan, I think of like Frazetta. Like that's him painting himself.
Of course.
Yeah, you guys know who Drew McIntyre is?
No.
Drew McIntyre, yeah. He's like a country star.
That's Conan. He's a wrestler. That's Conan.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta look at him again.
That fucker's huge. That's Conan, dude. Not.
Well, I gotta see. They gotta act too. They gotta bring in the fucking acting.
Well,
I used to think that they you could get anybody to play Conan. The more you read him, it's like he's got to bring in the stoicness.
He's playing the part of Drew McIntyre really well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say, those guys do act every night. They do act. It is acting.
Better than Cena or any of them clowns that are out there acting.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I'd have to. A lot of dudes can play Conan too. A lot of the wrestlers, a lot of them can kind of look like
some dudes
Big John Buscema look,
built perfectly for that role.
Right.
Even though like Momoa didn't have the Buscema look, he still didn't have the fucking look. And I always think like Conan, he's got the worst fucking haircut ever, but that's his haircut. He's got the fucking long black hair with the ugly ass fucking bangs, and then they're chopped. Like he chopped them with his fucking sword in the morning before he fucking drilled up. Like
I gotta get my hair out of my eyes.
That's how I always thought. And then it kind of goes back and curls up, and like that's, and someone photoshopped that onto Momoa, and I was like, oh shit, where he's kind of standing like fucking like that.
Yeah.
And he's fucking kind of profile like back when he was doing the movie. I used to be on the Conan. I was on those message boards I was back, but I was a fucking stan for that movie, dude, before it even came out, before they even hired him. I was on the fan boards, you know.
Wow.
And I had never even read a fucking Conan book. I was just a stan from the fucking Marvel movies or from the Milius movies. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
just from the Schwarzenegger movies, dude. I had a couple Conan comics. I was just a stan from the Milius movie, but I was never. I had a couple comics, but nothing too crazy, you know. And the more you read, it's like, you know, it's different.
As a kid, I wasn't so much into the regular Conan comic. I loved Savage Sword of Conan.
Like I'll read any if I have time. I'll read any Conan story.
That's where I discovered Solomon Kane. As a matter of fact,
I discovered Solomon Kane from somehow on the internet when the movie came out, and from Bassett, that guy that did the Conan or the Solomon Kane movie, and I kind of was following him, you know, and watching the movies he did, and I was like, damn, this fucking movie's badass, dude. I can't wait to see this fucking movie, and it would never come out. I mean, you know the story. And if finally it came out in America, we did Solomon Kane on here. And man, fucking
I
still gotta buy it.
Bad timing, man.
Yeah.
It was bad. Seriously, that movie was a victim of bad timing.
That movie's the shit too. It's so
really
fucking
good.
And it's really good. It doesn't exist in canon, you know what I mean? But it's fucking perfect for a movie. Like it works for an origin story, you know? Like,
do you know what it is? It's the perfect companion piece to Milius's Conan.
Yeah,
it's not
dude.
Robert E. Howard's, right? It doesn't follow anything specifically, but it has that spirit.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. If you can nail that spirit, that's much more important than any details.
It's hard to nail down Conan, dude, to do him the right way. The noble savage, you know? Like, do exactly what Robert E. Howard did. That fucking Texan, you know, living there, you know, with his whole upbringing. Study Robert E. Howard and his biography and who he was and how he wrote the books. Then you can kind of nail down the character a little more. I think it's a whole like noble savagery and technology coming into that Western town, and you know, it's on the brink of the Wild West, but also, you know, technology coming in.
The reason why the Conan stories are told out of sequence, right? How you know, one story, you know, Conan,
the kid, then he's old. Then he's a pirate.
Yeah, exactly. And then another one, it opens up. He's nailed to a cross.
Oh, dude.
Another one opens up. He's like a young thief doing his first real robbery,
yeah,
right?
Dude.
Breaking into his first temple, that kind of shit.
Share my screen, Brian. Share my screen. Have either of you ever been drawn as? No, share my screen, dude. Down there. Share my screen. Right, have either of you ever been drawn as Conan?
No,
that's great.
There's me as Conan.
Yeah. That's a take. Oh, that's great. It's this is God. I forget the artist that it was. Giant Size Conan #1. That's what this is a riff off of.
Yeah. Dude did this back when we first created Crom. Yeah. He didn't know that we had a little troll that was Crom, right? He didn't know that. So he drew me as Conan and wrote Crom above it. And I was like, no, dude, that's not.
It's funny, like the one thing Marvel did,
right?
he started to take on Crom, like he fought Crom, like in the new, these motherfuckers had him for like 2 years or some shit, 3 years now.
They don't know
Marvel,
Crom.
Yeah, but he takes him on in the book, and there's some cool little drawings here and there. You know what I mean? And I was just
this is Crom. You're looking at Crom right there. That's Crom.
That's Conan Scott up there.
That's Crom right there.
I've never played to you before.
He laughs at your 4 wins. He don't give a shit.
Don't give a shit about your fucking 4 wins. Yeah, I mean, I love that movie to pieces.
My favorite movie. I just tied up with RoboCop and Dracula. Like I can't have one favorite movie. Like those are
right.
The Conan is
no. You have your top 10, and then out of your top 10, you have your top 5.
But if I had to like walk away, I would keep Conan, dude. I would take Conan and I'd be all right, RoboCop and Dracula. I got to balance, big dog. Like I'll take my toxic masculinity and hit the door. Like that movie's the shit.
Man.
I got my fucking. I bought 2 T-shirts of that wannabe Frazetta style that they did for the cover and everything. You know, fucking love that cover.
Where the fuck?
Conan's the shit, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he is.
And he is. And the thing is,
my Atlantean sword is
toxic,
upstairs.
but he takes care of his women. You know what I mean? He's fucking. The women love him.
He's not.
He cares about his women.
There's
a moment about his women, but not his enemies' women.
Correct. Yeah. And he's,
women who are his enemies.
I would say in his era, he's kind of a gentleman as far as I'm concerned. For his era.
Oh yeah, no, he's the noble savage. He's the noble savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when there's
He
a
wants to
woman
hear the
that does something to him that he would have killed a man for,
yeah,
which is to say, sets him up, snitches on him.
Oh yeah, no,
and
bitch is done.
Putting up, yeah, you know what he does?
Yeah, she
he
gets the
fucking
blade.
comes back. He fucking grabs her. He takes her up on the roof. Has her out like holding her hand like this. I forget which story this is. And he lets her go, and she lands in a cesspool that's like right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, no, he'll fucking.
He's like, I'm not gonna. He won't kill her, right? He won't kill her.
Yeah.
But he's like, you fucking snitching
Has
bitch.
to. Yeah.
Now see, here's the classic though. You got Conan and Crom. The reflection in the blade. You got Conan. You got Crom.
Well, that's that. Yeah.
There it is. Bill Moss drew that, by the way. That's a Bill Moss.
Pretty dope.
That's fucking yeah. That's badass. That's badass for sure.
I love barbarian shit, dude. I like never.
I do too.
It never tires on me. Whenever I see like a book or a campaign, I try to buy it or back it at the moment.
The older I get, actually, the more I enjoy Barbarians.
Isn't well, it's just primal, dude. It's just primal, bro. It's just good versus evil. It's a big buff dude that's fucking shit up against a fucking skeleton wizard. You know, it's
like a video.
When Bill drew that right there.
Games, I was always like a paladin guy. I always like playing paladins, and maybe the occasional barbarian. That's always a barbarian.
Yeah, it's full on barbarian for me, bro.
See,
full on, like let me
Bill
get in there and fuck
right
shit up
there,
with my hand. You know.
When Bill drew that, he sent it to me, and I was like, "Hey, man, can you draw Crom in the reflection?" I said, "Can you draw Crom as a reflection in the blade, please? Can you do that for me?" And he's like, "Sure, no problem, pops." And he whipped Crom up in the reflection of the blade. I was like, "Homage, there it is, homage."
Oh, that's dope. Can never get enough of those.
Yeah, those are really cool. Oh, wow.
It just trips me out. People do all these cool drawings for us, you know, for the group, for everything we do, man. It's like anytime I even like insinuate that I'm going to do something, somebody's sending me drawings and sending me art going, "This is it, Pops, do it this way." And I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." It's like, and their stuff gets incorporated into what we do, you know. It's like It just happens, you know.
Check this out. I've been wanting to make this stream a little bit more about promoting people's books. Kami Mark has a campaign right now for Krishna Kid, which looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, it does.
And it's not funded yet.
Yeah,
it did get some shadow advantage.
I will say his
got some serious shadow advantage.
I'd say his page is arguably the best fucking Indiegogo page I've ever seen. It's fully like animated. I'm like, whoa, this is. It literally blew my fucking socks off.
Dude,
the
one that he had for Best Korea, that blew me away because I was like, holy shit, he took his Indiegogo page and he turned that into an art project.
Yeah, that's how I felt with the Krishna Kid. You know what I mean? I haven't backed it yet. I want to back it too. And I really like that. I don't know if it's a Matt Barr cover, but there's like a Matt Barr issue in there where it's got that God dude with all the babies, the fucking scary one. I'm like, ooh, that's fucking metal. It looks pretty crazy. I like the artwork. Yeah. I like Matt Barr's art
about
style.
1,200 away from being funded with 7 days left.
1,200.
85% funded. He's doing all right. He'll be all right.
He's doing all right. Yeah, I have about the same time left, and I'm not even halfway to my goal.
I think he's gonna hit it, dude. He needs to get on a big show, like I don't know, maybe a big show to kind of fucking. Because there's a lot of books out there, you know, and like you got to remind everybody.
And a lot of people, and you know, and a lot of people are busy, and they've got people booked in advance and that sort of a thing.
Yeah,
and
I'm so busy now.
I would never be that guy that's like, hey, bump me to the front of the queue and bump, you know, which means bumping, you know, somebody else, especially if it's somebody new. Nah, you know, I'm good. You know what I mean? But
I need to start up my YouTube channel, man. I don't know. I want to help out some people.
That's why we do have
for a little bit, for a few months, you know.
Yeah.
That is why we do have open panel shows, Brian. We do have open panel shows.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That you can come out to that don't bump anybody. You know.
Right. Yeah. Well, anyway, so I hit Mark up and I'm like, dude, we should do a stream, right? Like, do you want to come on a horror movie club and pimp your book? So, you know, you can pick the movie, right? Because I think that's probably the way we should be doing things. We should let the guest pick the film.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the movie that he picked is Pulgasari. This is a movie that was made basically for Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il was looking at South Korea, and he was like bitching to like his culture ministers, like, what the fuck? Like, they're making movies down there, and they look great, right? And I mean, look at how great Korean cinema is now. They're fucking dominating. But he's like, well, why don't we have that? And so what he did was he kidnapped a movie star, an actress that was big in Korean films. Then her husband, who was a director, was looking for her, and in the process of looking for her in Hong Kong, got kidnapped and sent to North Korea and stayed. It was like locked up in a prison or a jail for 2 years, like I'd forgotten about. And then somebody, I guess, discovered him, and it was like, yeah, we got this guy locked up in our jail. You ever hear of him? And Kim Jong-il welcomed them both and wined and dined them. Like, hey, how'd you like to make movies for me? The answer to that, of course, is only yeah, sure. Right? So this guy had to make movies for Kim Jong-il. And one of the movies he made was a freaking a kaiju movie. And this is it right here.
Now, Peter picked this movie?
I'm sorry? No, Kami Mark.
Oh, Mark
shows it. Yeah, because he did Best Korea.
Okay.
Right.
I just want to be clear.
It's a very Kami Mark choice.
Yeah.
And since it's kaiju, it's technically horror.
Let's go get him with our spears. Yeah.
That Achilles tendon, you'll be good.
Hit his big toe.
I think it's kind of like Daimajin. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Daimajin movies. They're about like this big stone god, right? There's a god that's trapped inside this giant stone statue, and there's 3 of them, and they all basically have the same story, which is to say, it's set during the Edo period, and there's people that are being victimized by the bad guys, by these bad samurai, and they pray, and the god inside the statue just starts moving, like pulls itself out of the side of a mountain, and then just starts stomping motherfuckers. You really have it coming. They're really, really fun. There's 3 of those movies. I recommend them all.
We learned in King Kong and Godzilla and all these other movies that people running up to the feet of the monster just get squished. That's not an offensive strategy.
Well, you know what? There's a moment in Daimajin that it's like one of the perfect kaiju movie moments, because it's like there's this giant monster. It smashed the fucking gates to the fortress. It's coming through, and there are these guards on the battlements, and they're just kind of like watching him walk by, and then suddenly he stops.
And he looked,
and I see you, motherfuckers, because the one thing that you that you don't want is for that giant thing to notice you.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah. So and there's a copy of this on the YouTube, so everybody's gonna be able to watch this for free.
This looks like fun.
Just is not
it does.
I could be knocking out a page or 2 and watch the shit,
Right.
The spear is
watch
just
the battle.
not the weapon for this. That's what I'm saying. All
pretty
those guys
fucking metal.
on the ground,
Yeah, it is.
So it's a Kim Jong-il movie, huh?
Yeah,
that's fucking
Yeah. Directed by like a major South Korean director, at gunpoint.
That's fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
When's this book due?
That's
the campaign.
Really
When's it end?
7 days or
also
something.
put the link to his book.
I was just looking at it.
I
just put the link in the chat.
Okay. Oh, you did? Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Because Mark's a good dude, a major, hail CG UK. Those folks are just killing it over there.
7 days left. 15% to go.
Yeah, I mean, so we need to pull
7 days from now. That's like next fucking Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Oh shit.
That means it would be like a fucking ninja fucking soft ending stream for him.
Oh shit.
Like,
yeah. So maybe we should do this sooner.
Why don't you just invite him out to this show to close his campaign?
I could do that too. You know what? I'll ask him.
Do you want? Yeah, I mean,
ask him and see what he
wants to do.
He doesn't have a countdown party, man. We can do a countdown party.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could.
Probably set him up with something. How much more money does he need?
We gotta get it. Yeah, first things first. We gotta get his ass across the finish line.
Like I say, he's only 15% away in 7 days. He's gonna be fine. You got all them last day motherfuckers that pop in.
Yeah,
oh my god,
but
that's
still,
why you do countdown shows, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't depend on it.
That's why you do countdown.
Times are fucking hard now, dude.
This motherfucker's over. You better come
Times
get
hard,
some.
Bro. I'm gonna try to promote this guy a little more on Twitter if I can.
Me too.
Here and there.
Me too.
That's why we do countdowns, you guys.
Yeah, man.
To get them last minute fucking. Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
He's been working on this shit for fucking, I think, years too. At least a year or so.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, like I thought that was immediately going to be like gigantic.
Yeah, like day one type shit. Like boom.
Day one type of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think also the shipping and handling. I think that's a major killer.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, that could do it.
I'm guessing, but yeah,
it's that, and it's kind of a niche book.
Yeah.
Well, but that's just the thing. I don't think it's niche. I actually think it's
fucking
like
cool,
to a really broad audience. It's just that he's playing with a different mythology, a mythology that we don't see used a lot.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm
brilliant.
saying?
But everybody's begging for original shit.
Everyone's doing Vikings right now.
For original shit, you'd think they'd be all over it, but it's like
not so much.
It's a kind of a kid's book, right?
Well, no, it looks like it's kind of
like a kid's
Dragon Ball
That's
Z.
the first thing people see when they look at it. It looks like a kid's
All right, for
book.
me coming here, which is like 99% of our audience, it's $37 and you get all the fucking books. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That's over to fucking Los Angeles. That's not bad,
No, not at all.
In my humble opinion, that's not too fucking crazy. Now, if you're living in like somewhere fucking far as fuck, I mean, he's in England,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's not too bad, bro. You got motherfuckers charging way more than that for
that's true.
Kind of the same thing. So,
that's true. All right. Well, you know what? I'll hit him up
everywhere. So.
I'll hit him up and see if he wants to come on earlier.
Well, I mean, ask him if he's got a countdown, because if he has one already planned, then we promote that so everybody knows to go watch.
Okay. All right. But the official plan, and actually, I could put this in the chat.
If he doesn't have one, then by all means, bring him on. Or, I mean, we'll fucking give him one.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, not only do we want to help our fellow comic skaters, we also want to, get a worthy book across the finish line. Because, like, if that doesn't, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if this one doesn't make it, that's an injustice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like one of those bullet, like you got shot. I feel like kind of like a little, like I got little stab or some shit. You know what I mean?
That ain't
like
right.
One of those books,
right.
Yeah, that shit should have been fucking funded like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on, motherfuckers. Yeah, no, it looks dope, dude. You know what I mean? Like dude. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was saying it's kind of like Dragon Ball, but like fucking like Dragon Ball Z mixed with like Indian culture.
With the Hindu mythology, with the mythology that's in the religion, that's in the Bhagavad Gita and those other texts. It's genius.
And I was talking the other day, I don't know if it was on this stream or someone else's stream, but I was saying like that there's a lot of untapped potential with India, dude. There's so much fucking shit over there. Core, it's fucking terrifying.
I know.
I think I was telling you about I was in like a Street Fighter fucking thing with my homie, dude. You know what I mean? And he did this Indian tribe where it was designed as Street Fighter for Street Fighter 2, I did the Knucklevi, which is a big ass fucking Scottish boxer, based off of this character from fucking, he had a kilt on from Scottish lore. But anyway, my homie, his drawing was the shit. He's just my buddy. He's just this badass motherfucker that can do all kinds of shit. He's not in CG, but anyways, he fucking designed this crazy fucking Indian character with these long ass fucking fingernails and shit, and he's got them back like that. And it's from this tribe in India, dude, that are cannibals, right? Ooh. They're fucking cannibals, and they got big fucking yellow teeth, these big old fucking yellow eyes, and these big ass dreadlockish hair. And it's fucking scary, dude. And I was just like, dude, they should make a horror movie, those motherfuckers, And I'm just thinking like that's what I would go to.
Well,
I'd hit him up like, hey, dude, where'd you get the intel on this shit? Like, let me know a little more. Let me write a story. Let me hit my homie Brian and throw something together. Pages real quick. That's it. That type of thing. Like,
because whenever so you can find, whenever you can find something that's from another culture that hasn't been done to death, right? Like that's what I love about like a lot of the Thai movies, right? Or you look at something like Kingdom, for instance, right? Yeah. How often have you seen like Korea in the 1600s or 1500s?
Right. Yeah. No, like, I'm totally down with that. Well, even like even little shit like there was a horror movie too, like an Indian one, like when they were in India. It was a pretty like it was released in theaters. I forgot the name of it, but it was this ghost and he. Oh, it's Krishna Cottage. No, it was a bigger one. It had like a one name, and it was a family that had a house in fucking India, and the house was a square, and it had like 4 stories, and it had a fucking a courtyard, and there was this dude with dreadlocks, like I was talking about from like that tribe, and he was haunting them, and it was scary as fuck. I forgot what it was. I'll see if I can find it again, but it was cool, dude.
I've never seen a Bollywood horror movie.
Yeah, no, this one wasn't Bollywood either. It was American.
Oh, okay, but it was playing with the Indian mythology.
Correct. Yeah, and it was still good, dude. I'm into that shit.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you have mythology from like all over the world, and I mean, it's fascinating seeing the stuff that's similar, and then of course it's fascinating seeing the stuff that seems like it's like from outer space. Like, for me, Japanese have the yokai.
I'm a history fan, dude. I'll watch any of that shit. Like even Gods of Egypt and like anything dealing with folkloric gods and pantheons. And if they got budget on it, I'll go watch it even if it sucks. I watched Gods of Egypt in the theater. Proyas directed it too from The Crow. The Crow director did that one.
Yeah, how is that?
It's supposed to be Paradise Lost, but he couldn't nail it down with Cooper.
I remember hearing that.
It was fun.
It's
like a mummy movie.
I'll check it out.
Did you know there's a book about that kidnapping and stuff? It's called,
there's a documentary too.
Yeah, it's called Kim Jong-il Production. Kim Jong-il Production. It's by Paul Fisher. There's a book about it. So you
they had to
read the story.
They had to fucking massage this guy's ego for this dictator, this fucking killer, this fucking mass murderer, right? War criminal, fucking piece of shit, right? Like down there with fucking
they were
Stalin
in Dr. Doom's castle, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, except Dr. Doom was like, at least had like some kind of a code, right? This motherfucker, not so much.
Well, to himself, he had a code. Obviously, all dictator villains do. You know, I mean, he's not the bad guy in his own story.
Right.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true. So, but I mean,
just
very bizarre individual, and they had to fucking like massage this guy's ego and convince him that they were on board.
Yeah,
they were like this, right? And just to like, so they could go out of the country for the first time and like promote the movie. And when they fucking met up with a CIA liaison and went and out of there, Kim Jong-il was hurt. Mm-hmm. He felt betrayed.
He thought they were really down with him. Yeah. He thought after we kidnap you and you suffer from, what is it, Hodges fucking whatever. What is the fucking name of that where you like fall in love with or come to believe
Stockholm.
Yeah. Okay, Stockholm.
They never had it. They never had it, but they had to pretend like they did.
He sure thought they did, huh?
Right. Yeah.
He thought they were like all down with what he was. Motherfucker, you kidnapped us. I'm gonna stab you if I get a chance.
and actually, exactly. But right, so they had to put. Here's the thing: they were an actress and a director.
Yeah.
So they knew how to act, both of them.
Yeah.
And
this
so
got so many cool things on his campaign, bro. Fuck.
Right. Yeah, man. So yeah, I should actually. Can you share a link or something like that?
Yeah, we did put the link
screen or
sure,
something.
Brother. You can share my screen if you want, if that's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me
let
me get back to the main page real quick.
All right.
I would need to do a deep dive study on this. I just know I came to the page and looked at all the visuals, and this was like, dude, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
All interactive and like the fucking book looks cool, dude, and like, oh man.
Right.
Like I would
now
get the gold edition if I was
funded.
get it. So,
right, but to me, this is like in a similar territory where you're like, I think this might be like some visionary shit.
No, it is. It is. It's definitely a visionary. Like that's for sure. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't agree. It's visionary. Clever as fuck.
Clever as fuck, man. You know, because when I saw it, when he launched it, I was like, you clever motherfucker.
Right.
You know? Like, smart, because that's one of the things that, you know, we as a scene should have is diversity of products.
Always. Well, just coming up with new shit. Like, I'm going to try to do that, God willing, with my new book. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing. He could never do that for DC, Marvel, Image, whatever. I don't know who's left at this point, right?
Correct.
But he could never do that. Why? Because he's not a Hindu. Because he's not Indian.
Yeah, fuck
Cultural appropriation.
No, I'll do what the fuck we want. It's free country. I live in America.
Go fucking.
I want to do a fucking book on fucking India or wherever the fuck I could do it.
Yes. It's not cultural appropriation, assholes. It's cultural appreciation.
If I want to put a fucking Irish guy and a Haitian guy and a fucking Mexican guy and a fucking Native American guy, I'll put him in my book. I don't give a fuck, and I'll write him however the fuck I want. No, I've been doing that book fever, and I'm going to continue to do it whenever I do a book.
Fuck yeah.
Here we go, brother.
And fuck those people. They're not even part of the fandom. They fucking moved in and fucking took it over.
Little bitches.
But that's why we're here.
Virtue signaling motherfuckers. So here we go. We got this badass looking thing right here. Krishna Kid, the complete eye of Brahma Saga. So this right here is the gold collected edition. It's $24 for US backers. Look at that thing. Looks fucking cool, dude. And with that, I'm just going to look at it's part of the standard tier. I'm sorry, the signature tier, featured one. Click on it. So it's got the complete Eye of Brahma Saga, a 90-page perfect bound graphic novel following the adventures of Lord Krishna and his friends. Krishna Kid number 1, 2, and 3. Compiled into a gorgeous collected edition. So for me, that's what I would get. I would get that, and then there's this demon fucking villain type S character in here with a cover by Matt Barr. This one right here, pardon my Indian, but the Duryodhana Piranha number 1. That's what I'm talking about. The one that no one backed with the Matt Barr cover.
I think you just did a lot better than I could have.
That's fucking that's badass, dude. That one you can add on for like $10 or $11 at the end. You get the origin of this fucking villain. I think he's a villain. So basically, if you were to buy like a fucking Fantastic Four book, and then they had an add-on for Doctor Doom on checkout, which was like 10 or 11 pages, it was fucking pretty dope, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had your villain as a fucking like a little side piece, fucking that you could back on the way out. You know what I mean? 11-page add-on. So as we scroll down,
so cool.
I'm going to show the page real quick if you'd like. This Indiegogo page, just so you guys feast on all the visuals. And look at all this interaction right here. Brahma the creator.
Oh yeah, all the animated GIFs. Yeah, they're so cool. They've got like that 3D. They look like those 3D stickers that you used to see, where you know you turn it. You have to turn them a certain way.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and these are all like stories. Yeah, these are all stories from their mythology. But like he's doing. I mean, look at that.
That's Matt Barr right there too.
Yeah. So you've got like Matt Barr's Dragon Ball Z meets JoJo's JoJo's Adventure.
So cool.
Yeah, it is.
Be first in line to get your hands on issues number 1, 2, and 3 of Krishna Kid. Has 3 separate 30-page comic books to be delivered as each book is completed. Copies of Krishna Kid issues 1, 2, and 3 come with Indiegogo exclusive wraparound covers by Matt Barr and Billy Basco.
Yo.
So I guess fucking Matt Barr does all the covers, which is cool.
And Billy's a major talent too.
Yeah. I got some history with Billy. I mean, I don't share history with him, but we both worked in the same place. I'm going to talk to him about that.
No shit.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay, here you go. This is a fucking Krishna Kid variant. This is Dragon Ball Z like a mother.
Yeah, it is.
Then you got the mother.
And then you got the 6 a.m. sticker. It's not a CG campaign without the 6 a.m.
this looks cool. Like this is something I give my kids, dude. You know, I got kids. I'd fucking show them this stuff.
We need more kid-friendly stuff for sure.
We do. And like, okay, for me, you got the kid looking cool kid character in the front that's easy to check out and like, oh, it's cool. You know, he's got a fucking hammer. He's gonna fuck shit up. Then you got the big badass demon looking motherfucker on the left. You know, like for me, that's something that I'm like. For me, that's what I would look at. Like, oh, that's cool. And right there in one singular image, you've attracted two different audiences. Yep. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
Like legit, no bullshit.
Right. Like when Pops was saying that this was a kid's book, I'm like, no, I don't think it is. I think it's an all ages book.
Well, I mean, like again, I'll stress the fact again. I'll go back up. You know what I mean? That's both ages right there. So you got the big buff barbarian demonic looking badass right here. You know what I mean? Even as a bad guy, I'm gonna see him wreck. You know. And then you got this big monster right here, like fucking the world serpent, probably from Indian mythology, which is probably their fucking world serpent, which is Hinduism, which kind of basically kind of, well, we can talk about that some other day, which kind of lines up with Norse mythology.
Well, I mean, that's also
part of the world.
Well, that's the thing that's also great is that Mark knows his shit. Yeah, and he knows a lot more about this stuff than I do or you do, and so it's great just listening to him explain it all, describe it all.
So this cover right here, in some ways, might be my favorite piece by Matt Barr in CG.
Oh my god!
There's just something about it with the queen on the ground with all the babies. I have no idea what it means, but you see,
those are her kids. That's like a curse or something where she had to. So she gave birth to 100 babies all at once, and so they're all coming to her, crying, looking for milk.
For me, that could be an art gallery. You know what I mean? Like you got like a piece of shit on the wall, then you got a picture of an apple, then you got a fucking 4 like right triangles, and then you got a piece of toilet paper thrown up against the wall, and then boom, you got Matt Barr's piece right here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In the art gallery, like I know it. You know, it's not art, but for me, comic book art is the best.
Here it is, in France it is. You know, that's why a lot of
guys. I gotta be more explained. I don't want everybody to think this is a kid's book. To me, as a adult at 30 with kids who looked at stuff like this, it was kids stuff.
Right.
Okay. Now all those people are adults. I get it. My son's an adult now, but this is the stuff he liked when he was a kid. I didn't like it much. Okay. You know, it was I was an adult when this stuff all started hitting.
Right.
You know, it was like, you know, it took certain things. I'm not a Naruto fan or Dragon Ball Z fan.
Me neither. I'm not gonna lie.
But my grandkids and my son love that shit. You know?
Exactly. Dude, I got big old fucking homies that love that shit. Big old buff motherfuckers that fucking love that shit. Homies. I'm like,
but that dude, that blue dude right there reminds me of Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Yeah, a little bit. And they got a little synopsis about the shit that I had no idea what to do with. Brian was talking about earlier, the Duri Dahana Purana, Curse of the 100 Sons, already completed and will begin shipping almost immediately, provided the campaign is successful. Whet your appetite for awesome and back to Duro Dahana Purana today to get a taste of the exciting world and future of Krishna Kid.
100 sons. I hope that lady's been doing her Kegel exercises.
I hope she's got fucking, man, this right here is a Death Note fucking homage.
There's a lot of other wet nurses to feed all them kids. I'm just saying.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, there's so much more fucking
look
6
at that.
a.m.
Another fucking 6 a.m., dude.
No, he's got 2 6 a.m.s. Oh, go fuck yourself, Mark.
Oh, this guy's cool right here. He reminds me of Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
Jax Martian dude.
Yes.
I haven't seen him since the Berserker thing. I get kind of I love it. I love seeing alternate covers. Like I'm not a big fan of alternate covers or shit like that, but I love it when like people bring in different artists from CG and adjacent to fucking do pieces and
different styles,
covers and prints and cards and just to see they're still a fucking around. Like, oh, okay, this guy's around. I don't know this guy or know who he is, but it's cool to see he's around. I really appreciate his style. You know what I mean? I love styles like that.
Without a doubt.
Sometimes I wish I could just fucking do stuff like that myself.
Oh, you and me both, brother.
Okay, look. Jack Kirby inspired Krishna Kid Wraparound by Dax Martin.
Badass.
Look at this. Discover the story of how Krishna Kid went from vision. I had on the floor of me lying room to the complete Eye of Brahma saga, a meta peek behind the scenes of the development and production of Krishna Kid series, from concept designs and world building to almost Gonzo style retelling of the making of Krishna Kid.
Awesome. So freaking cool. It's fan art gallery.
So you got fucking Jose the fucking Garcia right here. Look at.
I know. Well, that's the thing. This is something that Mark was working on for like ages.
At least I'm thinking 2 years, maybe. At least a year.
At least a year.
That's how you got to do it, though, man.
I agree.
That's what I'm gonna fucking do. I like this piece. Look at this bad motherfucker right here.
Oh, it's fucking great, dude.
That badass motherfucker. You got Krishna Kid down there. I love seeing big fucking monsters like kaiju-esque taking on a little speck.
Yes.
It's Bogdan art right there.
Right.
Guardian
so
Angel.
What he's done is he's sort of taken Krishna and he's turned him into like the Monkey King.
From Dragon Ball.
If you're familiar with that character from Chinese mythology.
Oh, Chinese mythology. Okay. No, I'm not. I've heard it.
Oh, dude, there's so much like Monkey King shit right now. It's ridiculous. That's fucking cool badass. Poster. Yeah, doesn't that look great?
T-shirt right there you can put on your kid. Yeah, this is his book, dude. It just needs more love, more. Well, I mean by love, I mean more fucking eyes. Yes. More people looking on it and more explanation on what it is exactly. You know what I mean? There's a lot of politics right here too, but I think
he's having fun with it.
People need to also just kind of look at the book, dude. Put the politics aside and look at this fucking cool piece of art that he's done. And they need to back it.
Look.
And I'm going to try to back it as soon as I can.
The thing about Mark's stuff is like something like First Korea was political.
Yeah.
But it was like fucking funny as shit.
Yeah.
Right? He's not... he's focusing on entertainment first. That's the thing. He always puts the entertainment first.
Yeah.
You're not going to, in other words, you're not going to get a lecture from him.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to read one of his comics and be like, I'm being lectured.
No, I've hung out with Mark before. He's a nice guy, dude.
Yeah, he's
fucking funny. We did a troll.
Yeah.
We did like a little thing one time. Very smart guy. And again, if you guys can go out and back this book, whoever's watching, if you got the money, I guarantee you're gonna you're gonna love this book, and it's gonna be something you've never fucking read before, and it's gonna hit you like a fucking ton of bricks from the side.
And if you're a broke ass bitch like me right now and you can't back this, retweet. It doesn't share the link because that doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, definitely check that out, folks. I'm gonna have to peace out and get something to eat. I've been marinating some salmon.
Nice.
In a miso marinade. It's going to be delicious. But anyway, yeah, folks, next week's movie is most likely going to be Pulgasari. But yeah, I'll talk to Mark and we'll figure something out. If we have to do a stream sooner, whatever is going to be more beneficial to him. All right.
Just, make sure he's got some kind of a closeout stream to pull everybody's attention to the fact that
I'll
the show's over. I mean, campaign's closing,
Yeah, man. Because
that last 10 or 12 backers, it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
That's true. We'll figure it out. Right. We'll figure it out. Anyway, everybody who's tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. And wait a second. I gotta let these fellas tell you where you can find them.
For sure, man. You can find me at Runecutter Comic. You can also find me on YouTube at Metal Movies and Brewskis. Hopefully, you'll see me a little bit more. I'm going to be doing in the coming month, hopefully some live streams where I'm promoting other people. If you want, you guys can check out my book, Butch Cleaver. It's a gothic horror western. You might be into it if you like, Jack the Ripper shit. This is it right here. You go to butchcleaver.com or cgnow.net. You got Butch Cleaver 1 and Butch Cleaver 2. You order within the first 24 hours or so, I'm going to ship. And the book's about $25, or it's $25 plus shipping. So that's it right there. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for the show.
You got it, man. Oh, dude, of course. And thank you for the T-shirt. I got to wear that on stream more often. I do rock that shit. Be sure. I love that shirt and the pin too. Pops, tell these people where they can find you.
Madness Comic on Twitter. Pops Van Zandt on Jibber Jabber. And if you don't know about that, you need to go check it out because it's a comic social site. It's kind of like Twitter, but it's built by comic people and it's for comic people.
Yeah,
no porn bots, no news, no Fox News, no CNN, no none of that shit. Just come promote your books. Bring your fans, bring your friends. We're gonna blow this thing up. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm promoting right now. Max DeVille built it. It's solid. We're beta testing it right now. We've been inviting people. Sim just joined. I was his first follower over there. So just so y'all know. Look, it's just another place.
I'm going to go right now, Worth.
Yeah.
It's just another place to promote, and it's not going to be with all the crap, you know. It's not the dumpster fire that Twitter or Facebook or any of the other things are. It's just for us.
Right.
Max spent 6 months building this, man.
Well,
so
think about this too.
Give dude some respect, man. This thing's for real.
A lot of people,
Pops, what's it called? Jibberjabber.net?
Jibber Jabber. Yeah, I put the link in the chat earlier.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm on there.
Yeah,
I already made my account, and
it's only like 3 days old. We just started inviting people to come over and do
I'm
all
about
the
to get in there
tests.
type shit. Let me go find it real quick.
Haven't had no bugs or anything.
Not social. Okay.
The great delete, folks. It's coming. It's coming.
And
right?
See, this
We're
is
already
our
seeing
own.
signs of it.
Yeah, fuck that.
And this is our own. This
all
is
our
own
shit's
thing.
gonna fucking can disappear in a fucking heartbeat.
This one's ours. It was built by a comic person. It's for comic people, and it's not run by any kind of big tech. They don't take your information. They don't sell your information. Nothing, and nothing. Everything that sucks about those other sites, it ain't part of this one. That's all.
You got 59 people that just joined. So yeah, I didn't even know. Why didn't you tell me about this? Well, I didn't jump on
We
the
just
stream early
launched
today.
it. We just started.
I came on
beta
pretty early
testing
today,
it 2
so
days ago.
Well, that's because we always start like because of me. We always start like 15 minutes late. But Peter said he was only going to be able to hang out for an hour, so I made a point to actually start on time.
Like,
all right,
what's
folks.
my username going to be?
Don't ask us. How are we supposed to
do
know?
Matt
You'll
Burke
find
since
something.
It's a fucking comic book thing.
You'll find something that's metal.
I'll just do Matt Burke. Fuck it.
Metal Matt. It's just Metal Matt.
There you go. All right. Everybody, of course, you can find me on the Twitter. You can find me on the YouTube. Well, yeah, you're watching me on the YouTubes most likely. Smash the like button, the subscribe, and ring a ding ding dong the bell for notifications. And
my goal is to be.
Now he fucking pops on.
Look,
yeah, Sim. What the fuck?
My goal is to be the first follower of as many people as possible on this new website.
All right, I'm getting a refill real quick. I have to grab one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I came here for this.
He had to show it off. He had to come show it off.
Brian.
Come on, Brian. And big in that. Where are you going?
Jeez. Damn,
this is why
dude.
somebody else needs to be partnered up with him
mother
so they can take over the show when he walks away.
Damn, I fucking love that, dude.
No, if I would have known you back then, I probably would have grabbed you one.
That's beautiful, dude.
I would have slipped you some money. Like, dude, I gave my buddy like $60 to at WizardCon at the time to buy a fucking DVD of How to Color Comics by John Haberlin. You know, he took that fucking shit and he learned from that and he built a fucking business. Now he's making thousands of dollars. And he always is like, "Hey, Matt Burke, thanks for loaning me that money." Oh, jeez, fucking Pit.
The Pit.
Oh, dude.
The red, man. Black and red, limited to
250.
That's beautiful too.
I love Del Keown's art, man.
Mm-hmm. It was one of the last one he did since he, joined the crew. You could say
the crew.
Yeah, because I remember going to see him there and going like, "You should go on Indie Comics. You should go on Indie Comics. You should do on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Bring back the Pit. You'd be a millionaire."
Porn bots, and Brian's not here to kill him. Look at that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Porn bots.
There you go. Yeah, I just wanted to drop by to show you that crow thing because I was kind of a little busy before.
Oh yeah, man. I love that, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Like when I met him, like nobody was at his table.
Really?
It's one of the things that you notice, like some of the big, it's like Simon Bisley. You go see him, you'd think there'd be a lot of people.
Really?
People just go there to go see the stars, dude. Like I'm talking about Comic-Con here, yeah. in Montreal. So usually you go there and some of the big names are there, but there's almost nobody. Like I used to hang out with Simon Bisley and man, I'm missing his name. The other painter that did Preacher, all the covers.
Blank.
Damn, he's very photorealistic.
Liam Sharp?
No, he passed away not too long ago. I'm sure if I find the cover of Preacher, I'll find it. Hold on. It's just
I know what you're talking about.
In most of his covers.
Oh God, I can't think of his name. The artist from Preacher, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name either.
Because the artist inside was Steve Dillon.
Steve Dillon was the guy that passed away, right?
Yeah, he's one of the guys that passed away. The other one passed away too. It was the cover artist.
Not Glenn Fabry.
Yeah, that's it. Glenn Fabry. Thank you. I was
he passed away?
Didn't he?
I don't think he did. I mean, last time I knew.
I saw it going by, that he passed away. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Let me go check just to be sure. I don't know. It seems like he's still around. It's not on his profile. Born in British comics, so I guess I just saw one of those. Somebody died and thought it was him.
What up, fellas?
What up?
All right, are we going backstage? Should we do that?
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Once again, fucking porn bot, motherfucker.
I got it.
Yeah, you just missed this before.
Let me see. Right, let me blow that up.
And limited to 20 and.
Go fuck yourself, Sam. That's fucking sweet, bro.
And I also have this. It's not as limited, but.
Oh, beautiful.
Want to see something else cool?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't like seeing cool things. Show me something boring.
I don't have anything to frame them yet, so they're just there on my.
Yeah, I need frames too.
Yeah, me too. You know where I find cool frames at, though, you guys?
Nobody beats the band.
So cool.
Do you guys want to know where I find cool
it says
frames?
number 1 on it.
Nice.
You guys just want to know
wait,
a
hold on,
good place?
that, man.
Remember when I told you guys that I worked for, I did covers for Valiant Comics?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is one of the gigs they got me for working for them. Like Carrie Nord.
Oh, that's dope, dude. I love that. That gut punch.
I love that dude's stuff.
See, that's the shit I love, man.
Yeah, his Conan comics are better than the old Conan comics.
I love Full Impact on
and
comic
it's signed.
art. I love
the
that.
year that I did those covers, 2012.
Wow. So dope. Like
You
McFarlane
guys
was
wanna know a
saying,
good
you
place
just
to
show
get
the after
frames?
effect. I love the impact.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Pops. You were saying something?
I say, you want to know a good place to get frames, affordable ones, nice ones?
Yeah.
Yard sales.
That's true. That's a good
All
point.
day long, dude. $5. Beautiful fucking frames. I got some nice fucking frames on some of my art, dude, that I spent $3, $4 for.
Awesome.
Saturdays.
I
Saturdays
didn't
here
think about that.
in California. Saturdays are yard sale days.
Yeah.
Probably everywhere in the world.
I mean, everybody, they got these old, like Walmart prints and shit that were in decent frames, right? It's like you just pick up them frames,
Right. Okay, we should peace out off the air so we can talk shit about you folks behind your back. Thanks, Lorenzo.
Boy, good day, Rick.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
Ripper.
Thanks for all the help on the twatter, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Everybody,
Jabber, yo.
we'll see you next week or maybe sooner.